Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Are we all doing okay? Yeah. Yeah. Good. Same. Good to hear. Good to hear. Good to hear. Welcome to GTA Vice City, all missions on the Japanese version. You're probably used to seeing that by now. We'll just give a little sort of heads up as to why we're playing on that version. Hoxie, I guess I should introduce you first. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude.
It's okay.
I do apologize. On my right,
Hi, I'm Hoxie. I play this game a bit. I mostly play San Andreas, but a lot of the concepts carry over between the 3D trilogy. So.
they're all just like copy and paste of each other anyway, if we've been real. And we have one remote commentator, if you want to say hi.
Yeah, hello. So I go by MH usually, and I'm a Vice City speedrunner. I have not done an all missions run in a very long time, but don't worry about that too much. And yeah,
Plenty of knowledge between us. I'm sure we can get through one run together if we all put our noggins together.
I think we can do it.
Yeah, fantastic. So just a little quick heads up. The reason why we're playing on the Japanese version is just simply put, it's a different script because they like re-released the game. It's like a Haitian-friendly patch of the game. And it just, all that you need to know is that like offsets are different in the script so that different glitches that you'll see later are possible. Some are possible on like the Steam version, some are possible on the Japanese version. And the Japanese version just happens to be faster for this category. So, without further ado, should we get going?
Yeah.
All right, MH, you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready when you are.
Is everyone else ready?
No.
Sounds good.
Woo!
Ready to hit the button?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Hoxie, I'm going to do what I always do at the start of a run. I'm going to throw you under the bus straight away, if you don't mind. Do you know much about the lore of this game? Do you remember it?
A bit.
Okay. Do you want to try and give us a little rundown of the story?
So I don't remember the exact numbers, but it's been a lot of years since Tommy was arrested for he was arrested for a massacre in Harwood in Liberty City that like the Forelli family, which he was a part in, kind of like threw him under a bus as well, like you just did.
Speaking of, yeah.
And after he came out, my family treating him as a friend and sent him down to Florida, to Vice City, to oversee their deals. And one of those deals just went wrong. They were ambushed, and both the money and the drugs were stolen. Mm-hmm. So now we need to get the money back.
Yeah, it basically becomes like Tommy's revenge arc. So, the first thing that we're going to do is a little unorthodox, is we are going to stand over this rampage. Rampages are essentially like a 2-minute side mission, and you kill 30 members or however many they ask you to do with a certain weapon, okay? So what I did was I made a replay over it and then death warp to the hospital. Hoxie, do you want to keep going? And I'll make sure I'll concentrate on the game. You're welcome to.
Okay, so Ben made a replay of the rampage, and replays are a PC exclusive feature of the original version of the game that just usually store the last 40 seconds of gameplay. It's usually 40 seconds. It's like a technical reason.
It's around that, yeah.
It's technical reason that it's not always 40 seconds, but it's really technical stuff. So no need to go into it, but. They also allow you to save the replay to your file to a file on your disk, and which is going to be used a lot in this run. And another side effect, well, I guess not side effect, like effect of the replays being kind of rushed. Like the whole system is kind of
it's busted.
Yeah, it allows you to pick up pickups, and the rampages are cut in a way that even if the replay Tommy picks them up, the actual Tommy, like in the game, still gets the rampage mission, and we will use that a lot in this run.
Yeah, so essentially, the remote pickup of the rampages can be used to start 2 missions at the same time. So what I did right at the start was I grabbed the ambulance from the hospital. And the good thing about the ambulances is that they have like a remote submission, which is called is a paramedic. So it's like another side mission essentially. And you can start both of those at the same time. So the rampage that I remotely picked up in the replay and the ambulance mission. And then you cancel the ambulance mission, which you can do at any time. And essentially that gives us what we call an on-mission 0 rampage. So on mission is like a state in the game. 0 means that you're in free roam mode, so you can pick up other missions, you can buy properties and whatnot. And then on mission 1 means that Tommy is currently on a mission, so he can't do any of those things. So usually if you started a rampage, you wouldn't be able to actually pick up a mission like the one that I'm just starting here. But as you can see, I'm on the rampage and I'm also able to start missions, and that's because the rampage is what we call on mission 0. So we've done a glitch that basically allows us to be on the rampage, but also able to start other missions. That doesn't sound particularly useful, and it's sort of because a lot of the tricks in this game are sort of, you know, setting it up for later on. So you'll see that the next mission is where it'll become a lot more useful. But in the meantime, we're just continuing on through the missions. And as you see, there's a couple of like side effects with doing things on mission 0 because the game isn't used to being done in this state. So as you saw there, like it like put me inside the Malibu. It was like in the interior mode, even though I was outside. And yeah, it's all sorts of kind of weird stuff going on.
Yeah, because the Malibu is usually closed during missions.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, there's all sorts of weird stuff, but we'll do our best to explain it. This guy, you usually have a cutscene where you can sort of learn to fist fight and stuff, but we'll just mow him down. Don't need to worry. And then we get given a phone, which we can use to take phone calls, which will unlock missions later on. So I'm restarting the rampage here, and that's because the rampages have a very useful sort of 2-minute time limit. So the easiest way that you can sort of end the rampage is you can just wait the 2 minutes or you can complete it. As you can imagine, waiting the 2 minutes is a lot more consistent because, you know, you don't know where people are going to spawn or how lucky you're going to get with the rampages. And most of the time, we want to use them several times. So if we were to complete them, then the rampage wouldn't be there anymore because it's considered completed. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set myself up so basically right at the end of this 2-minute timer, I'm going to start the next mission. And then the rampage is going to run out, so it's going to put me on mission 0 again, because when you fail a rampage, you get put back into the free roam state. And then I'm going to be able to start that mission a second time. And the reason why that's so important is because if you start the next mission, which is Jury Fury, twice, the objective of the mission, whoops, don't mind my terrible driving. This is why I don't have a license. Yeah, so if you start the mission normally, you're expected to damage 2 jurors' cars in order to like stop them from, you know, blabbing in court. But if we spawn 2 sets of them by starting the mission twice, like everything is doubled. So we spawn 2 sets of them, and then let me see if I can get this bike. Very nice. Sometimes bikes are very annoying. They're sort of like angry and they'll just drive past you, but we got quite lucky there. Yeah, so 2 sets of the cars will spawn on top of each other, and then that will actually like make them damage themselves. So essentially what will happen, which you'll see very soon, is we'll start the mission, and then we'll pretty much instantly complete it the second we start it. So this whole sort of thing is like a teaser into the sort of duping process that you'll see a lot in this run. And it's sort of a good exhibition for it. So as you can see, we have to take phone calls to unlock, you know, progress in the story and unlock other missions. So we just do that in the meantime. And then as soon as we get to 3 seconds here, I'm going to walk in, I'm going to mash to skip the cutscene. See, the rampage will end. I start the cutscene a second time, so I've started the mission twice. There's 2 dudes, 2 cars. They almost ran me over. That would not have been very good. And then we'll just hop on the bike, wait a few seconds. So the mission has just started, and now the mission is over, just like that.
Remember, guilty is a dirty word.
So we'll be using this in a lot of places. That particular one is like a sort of rare instance that you'll be seeing. But the main reason why all this sort of duping shenanigans is very important is for a thing called insta-passing. MH, you're welcome to explain insta-passing if you want. It is a very technical thing, so of course I don't expect like a code monkey terminology kind of deal. But if you can sort of explain it in layman's terms for the people in the chat, that would be much appreciated.
Yeah, I got you.
Thank you.
So first of all, duping, well, we kind of use it as a shorthand for duplication, because like the first instances of us like doing this kind of glitchy stuff was just starting missions twice, so you duplicate it. Instant passing is short for instant pass, where you can instantly pass missions. So basically, if you start a mission and you start another mission, that a different mission, usually the game's just gonna crash. But in the code, right? So we're getting all technical here, talking about the code. There are kind of like byte offsets, I guess. So like how far into the code of a mission you're at, kind of, and like at certain points in a mission, like the code's kind of going to stop and like wait for you to do something before progressing. And like if you get one of those to line up with like the passing offset of another mission, when you start that mission, let's the second mission at the state of the first mission that lines up, then you instantly complete it. So you just jump to like that part of the second mission where you pass it. So you can use that to skip missions basically.
Yeah, so obviously with this definition of this category, all missions, we can't just like outright skip missions, but what we can do is do a glitch where we sort of start them and finish them straight away, because technically we still complete them, right? So it's like the closest thing that we can do to sort of, you know, skip through as many missions as we can. This trick that I'm doing here is called sliding, and essentially it's like colliding two animations at the same time, framed perfectly. Not to flex or anything, but it's pretty hard. I make it look pretty easy.
Yeah.
And as you can see, Tommy is sort of walking in like a weird state, and it's in between in terms of speed. It's slightly faster than jogging, but it's not as fast as sprinting. But the reason why we like to use it in particular situations, I reset the camera, my mistake there we go. The reason why we like to use it is because when you take phone calls in this game, there is a glitch that sort of, you know, makes this void, but for now we can't use a glitch that allows us to sprint during phone calls. So for all intents and purposes, we currently can't sprint during phone calls, so our only choice would be to jog. But obviously sliding is slightly faster than jogging, so we do that whenever we're taking calls. There's a number of times where we'll also use this later on, but for the time being, that's sort of the reason why. Hux, do you want to go through close replays? I do apologize. There is a lot to explain at the start.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of different things going on.
A lot of things going on.
It does get easier, trust me, and then it gets harder. But
Yeah.
you know, there is a point where it becomes kind of easy to, you know, more chill. But yeah, so we made a close replay just after the Jury Fury sort of dupe and pass thing. So Hoxie, do you want to go through the sort of benefits of why we make replays with those?
So a close replay allows you to, you know, pick up the close icon anywhere, and obviously you can change your close. But also you can also remove your wanted level and gain control in during cutscenes in some situations if you use the replay at the right time. And also just like some miscellaneous stuff like, for example, putting out fires, because if the game fades, I think, or if you lose control.
Yeah, it's if you lose control, yeah.
All the fires on the map just extinguish.
So yeah, so there's a bunch of different reasons why having a close replay sort of in your back pocket is really useful. As you just saw there, the mission gives you 2 stars, and it's sort of the tutorial where you're supposed to use the pay and spray system to get rid of your wanted level. But because of the fact that I have a close replay, I'm able to remove my wanted level at any time, as long as it's 2 stars or less. And the mission gives you 2 stars, so I was able to just sort of skip that section, which is very nice. This mission right here is, in my opinion, the hardest mission in the game, and it's not even close. It's quite simple in theory. It's the first sort of payphone assassination missions. And this is also the first sort of deviation from the any % route, if you're familiar with any % no SSU. So this guy is delivering 50 pizzas. Good start. This guy's delivering 50 pizzas, and we basically need to kill him, as a true assassin would, before he finishes his deliveries. The problem is that his route is completely random, so sometimes he can go in the most craziest places. And when he throws the pizza boxes, they're very difficult to dodge, and if you hit them, you'll just fall off your bike and he'll just like fly away.
Yeah, because he spawns in a set location and just like the traffic AI just takes over and destroys whatever.
Almost got him. Almost got him. That pesky pizza driver, man. Yeah, so obviously if you had a car, you could just like mow him down. But if I do that, then I will just also fall over. So the sort of easiest way to do it is to is to do my best. So yeah, this guy is an absolute menace. All right, one more try, okay. And then we might just let him get on with his day, you know, might come back later. Yeah, so as you have a bike, if I were to just throw myself into him, I'd just fall off the bike as well, and then I wouldn't have any time to kill him. So what you want to sort of do is like pit maneuver him with the bike like that. There we go. That deserves a clap. Thank you, thank you.
That mission is a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah, but let me tell you, there's a lot of complicated stuff in this run. That was not one of the hard missions. I just really suck at it. Yeah, so yeah, you sort of want to like pit maneuver them on the bike, which is quite difficult without falling off. You need like the right amount of speed and everything. It's sort of a trend where like at least the first 3 payphone assassination missions, they're such a pain in the backside doing these runs. Like they're so tricky to do fast. So yeah. But now we're on to regular sort of any % again. You notice I picked up a pistol earlier on in the run, and it's made these missions quite a bit easier, and this one will be no different. Sort of a lot of the ways that you optimize the earlier missions in these categories is just by grabbing weapons when you shouldn't really have them because the game hasn't given them to you yet. So here we have like the chainsaw. He was in a good spot to chainsaw him, but the other option is you can just shoot him. And you kill him so fast that you actually skip the chase part of this mission. So if you've played this game casually, you know that he'll get on a bike and he'll actually, yeah, I'm not gonna fall in the ocean. I'm not Casey Fruit. Like, there's a reason he retired. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
Wow.
No, we do love Casey Fruit here. I was tempted to throw myself in the ocean just to pay homage, but we've got a timer. We've got a timer running, so not the best idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was I saying about? Oh yeah, so you can skip the entire like chase section of Mall Shootout just by sort of knowing where the guy's gonna go, and like using weapons that you usually wouldn't have access to. So the pistol is quite useful in those sections. Like if I missed a chainsaw, I can just pistol him down before he runs away. So in this mission, you could technically optimize it quite a lot. I'm gonna choose not to because pretty much I'm lazy. But one thing we can do is we can do a sort of replay shenanigan here and pick up another pickup, which is the gun, without getting off the bike. Again, I'm just lazy. I don't really feel like getting off the bike. It's a lot of effort. You know, my Tommy's getting old. His legs are kind of not... His knees aren't as good as they used to be. So it allows us to sort of pick up and start the cutscene with Lance and everything, and then we can just zoom on out of here. Sorry, Lance, if you hit your head or anything. You're okay.
Yeah, that's because the game, after replay ends for like a frame, the game thinks you're on foot instead of in the vehicle.
Yeah, so that's why I had to spam it a few times, is because you sort of, you know, you only have like so many frames to pick it up, or so many milliseconds or whatever it is, and like sometimes there's not enough time in that one frame to do it. So you'll notice that sometimes like you'll sprint through markers or pickups and stuff and they just don't trigger. And the simple reason for that is because like the game doesn't like check like super often how to or when you're gonna pick stuff up. It's only every, what is it, 5 or 6 frames, I think?
Yeah.
So there's a chance that if you're running through a pickup, you might just phase right through it, which is very annoying.
Yeah, this is 2002, and you could keep that in mind.
Yeah, 2002 gaming, yeah. So this mission is pretty chill. It's sort of an auto-scroller. We're just waiting for these guys to come and ambush the deal, and we just sort of kill them as they spawn. So, Paul Lister, if you have anything to read, 1 or 2 donations would be smashing.
Absolutely, we have a couple here. We have a $100 donation from Anonymous.
Wowee.
This one has no comment, but thank you indeed. That one goes to the Hades run for Beat Caron incentive. It currently stands at about $900 out of 2,000, so we're well on our way to getting that met. We also have a $105 donation.
Nice.
From Dude in a Silk Dress saying, "Thank you, beloved Euro Bros and Euro Sis, for such an amazing event. It's such a pleasure to see your happy faces. ESA is always a cherry on top of the summer cake. Please keep this event in the best traditions, like a memory from the childhood where you feel home and understood." Aw. Here, a few bucks to break the record. Let's frame perfect. Thank you for your donations, everybody. Back to you, EnglishBen.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so this mission, the sort of only thing that we need to look for is to sort of farm as much ammo as possible for this SMG that I have. Obviously, we're playing for like 2.5 hours, so we do need quite a bit of ammo. And now we're going to do some shenanigans. So, Hawks, you want to talk about this while I try not to goof it up?
So when the cutscene starts, even play the close replay, and that I think it's like because the player model got changed from the same one that's currently has. He gained control again, and that allowed him
again.
and that allowed him to get closer to the Haitians that he needs to kill.
See ya.
And now just drive away from Diaz.
Yeah, it's very useful gaining control in cutscenes in a lot of places because those particular in-game cutscenes are usually unskippable. So we can sort of gain movement and do what we were going to do anyway, aka drive to the next mission before. I'm not sure where I'm going here. I want to be on the bridge for a trick. You know, might have got upset and just decided to not show it out of spite, but yeah. This is one of the rare times that you go out of bounds in Vice City, so there's so much to explain. So I'll leave this one to MH. Can tag in. Boom.
Yeah, so basically, when you get off the bike in that specific spot that he just did, and then Tommy like kind of goes into the little gate thing, and I don't know, something with the coordinates get messed up, and then the game kind of respawns him at like the nearest respawn point. So like say you fall like under the game map, like you're gonna respawn somewhere on the surface. It's the same thing here basically, except you can kind of just force it to happen there and just kind of like get access to the island a little bit earlier than you would have. So you just take the call and you start the mission right there. So it's a bit faster.
Yeah, the gate is usually locked, the one that I'm driving through right now, until you take that phone call. But because we sort of clipped through it, we can take the phone call while we're heading to Diaz instead of like waiting at the gate and like waiting for him to let us in. Sorry, buddy. That was really toxic. My bad. My bad. Sorry, officer. My bad. This is actually this is a hard drive. Like I would say, this is like probably one of the hardest drives in the run, just because of like the slopes and the sort of blind turns and everything. It's not easy.
Doing this drive optimally is fairly hard.
Yeah, I have no idea how to do it optimally. I just sort of wing it and crash my way through every single time. Seems to work. Somewhat.
Yeah, this is like one of the first drives you actually do in a car instead of a motorbike. So yeah, it's a little bit difficult compared to like, you know, you have this huge bulky car that turns really slowly and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's really slippery. The Infernus is quite a slippery car, but if you can learn to tame it, then it's very fast.
Exactly. So we're gonna run past this guy here. We're supposed to be chasing him. I'm gonna do some more close shenanigans. I'm gonna keep quiet for a second while I sort of concentrate. Okay, should be good. Nice.
Looks good. Nice.
So essentially, nobody really knows like exactly what's going on right now. But basically, all you need to do is I'm sat in the dude's lap. So he is supposed to take. There's a driver which you saw I killed, and he's supposed to take the passenger to Prawn Island, which is where I'm heading to right now. That's very slow, driving all the way around the map, and they don't drive above the speed limit or anything. Yeah, they take the scenic route all the way around the mall. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take him to his destination instead. But essentially what I did was I gained control in the cutscene with the close replay, and then I pulled the driver out because he sort of spawned in the car, killed him so he didn't give me any problems, because if you kill the driver, the mission doesn't fail. And then I sort of played like musical chairs with the passenger, and like if I get out at a certain time and get back in and get out and get back in and so forth, I can sort of time it with a reference to make it so I get in at like the same time he switches into the driver's seat. And we both just like get in at the same time, and I'm just able to drive him there, which is nice and speedy. So next up is Waste the Wife, which is the second Payphone mission, and also a very annoying mission. This BF injection that we have has a special property which makes it very heavy, and we need to flip this woman's car and make it explode. So it should, in theory, be a match made in heaven. But this heavy BF, because it's so heavy, it does a lot of damage when it hits things. So it does a lot of damage to myself as well, and I might end up blowing myself up, which is never a good idea.
Yeah, because in like the mission, it's supposed to look like an accident, so you cannot just
shoot her or anything. Yeah. So what I need to do is I sort of need to nudge up against her and just sort of.
Wow,
that went perfectly. Yeah, wow.
Whoops! I just accidentally flipped her over.
Yeah, just accidentally T-boned this woman, and she accidentally died. That's so unfortunate. There's like 100 witnesses in the pizza shop next to me, but nobody's gonna tell anyone, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, that mission is very problematic, so I'm very happy that that went well, because, similar to the roadkill thing, sometimes you can be chasing her around the map for like 20 minutes, and tech will be really upset with me if I'm just driving around like a fool the whole time. Yeah. So,
when that mission goes really wrong.
Yeah, there is no like medium level of that mission. It's just, it takes 2 seconds or 2 minutes, so, As you can see also, Tommy is not quite driving the car. He's driving how I would drive. It's not the most optimal thing, but the reason for that is because we go into a thing called Flintstones mode. So if you activate a close replay inside of a car, you go into Flintstones mode, and the sort of controls change. Yeah, another benefit of a close replay. And also this one, we can sort of come out of the sort of fixed turret mode. For some odd reason, so this M60 that we're using, this gun, it can kill anyone in one shot, but it shoots quite slowly. And you don't get very much ammo with it. But in this particular mission, you get infinite ammo. And if you use a close replay and then exit the sort of turret mode so we can see Tommy just, floating in the sky, we fire this quickly.
Yeah, it's one bullet per frame.
It's one bullet per frame, so we can just nuke everyone. And it has a double benefit. Sorry, buddy. It's for demonstration purposes, guys. Don't worry. But yeah, the other benefit is that because we're not locked into the sort of turret mode, we can look anywhere we want. Whereas if we were like doing it intentionally, the game forces your camera to look in certain directions, which is really annoying sometimes.
Especially since the Lancers cannot fly at all.
Yeah. So I'm blowing up those explosive barrels, not because there's anyone sort of near them, but because we're going to go up to that rooftop at the end of the mission, and if I don't blow up the barrels, there's a chance they can get shot through the wall and blow me up and kill me, which is not very good. 83 damage is pretty much exactly the same as what an explosive barrel will do to me, so I don't want to take that risk. So instead, I'm just going to slowly cause another massacre really quick. Yeah, so this is just sort of shooting these guys as we go. It's like a rail shooter almost. Paulister, one quick donation if you've got it. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Hey, here's a funny one. $20 from Don't Fall in the Water, saying, "Don't fall in the water." Thank you very much.
I will try my best. Thank you.
Plenty of time.
Yeah. So I'm going to try and do something a bit nifty here if I can get it. My aim isn't so good, so we'll see. But got one more guy. I'm going to go for it anyway. Actually, no, I shouldn't. That's stupid. But what I was going to try and do is I was going to shoot Lance out of the helicopter because for some reason the mission doesn't fail. Excuse me. I imagine it's because obviously the game never intended you to see Lance or anything and be able to shoot him, so there's no like fail condition for it. Give me 1 second, excuse me. But yeah, so you can shoot him out and it makes the helicopter descend slightly faster, but it only saves a couple of seconds. And if you do it at the wrong time, you can soft lock. So it's not really worth doing in a marathon.
Yeah, either soft lock or fail the mission.
Exactly, yeah. It's not really worth doing. So this mission, the fastest boat, is probably the easiest mission to do optimally in terms of like the strategies and how much time you save. MH, do you want to go through the huge fastest boat strat with us?
Yeah, so basically you get into the boat, and that's it, right?
Pretty much, yeah. That's pretty much all there is to it.
Technically, that's what happens.
Yeah.
But you'll see in a bit, it's
slightly
you
more
use intended
complicated
boat
than that.
mechanics
Yeah,
in an unintended manner.
Yeah, exactly. So I wanted to get that in furnace. That's fine. That guy got out very quick. I'm going to do a thing called glitching a car here. This is for way later on, so don't worry too much about it. But essentially all you need to know is I've put that car in a state where it's not going to despawn, so I can use that way later on in the run. But back to, you know, getting in the boat. Okay, so here we go. We'll go through sort of live action play, okay? So we need to get into this boat, but it tells us that we need to like hit the lever and there's a bunch of guys defending it. But if we go here and press F, we just warp into the boat. Very nice.
Yeah. And that's because the game has like a... Because you cannot swim this game, so the game has a mechanic for getting into boats safer.
Yeah, there's no like enter and exit animations or anything. So the way it sort of works is it's just if you're in like so many units away from the boat and you get into it, you'll just teleport into it. So you can just teleport straight into the boat and then the mission's like, oh nice, he's in the boat, good job, and lets you drive away.
Really convenient.
So this boat is considered a mission vehicle, and that means that it will despawn when I go away from it because of the fact that I used it in the last mission. But if I re-enter it and repark it there, I can use it after this mission that I'm about to do. And that's quite useful because we need to go back across the South Ocean right here and do the next mission for Cortez, who's speaking to us on the phone right now. So we'll go and find him at the boat. But yeah, the quickest way to get over there is to repark that boat and use it to drive straight across to Cortez's place. So this mission is also fairly straightforward. We use another duplicate of the boat that we just stole. Don't worry too much about it. And we head over with Lance. Lance we haven't introduced yet, so we should probably introduce him at some point.
He's like a pretty new character.
Yeah, the important thing is that we need to go and deal with this dude who's selling drugs or some kind of cargo, and he sells it to the first person who gets there, so it's basically a race. All these idiots are going the wrong way, so we're going to go the correct way. You know, we have a map and we can see that he's north, so we're going to go the most optimal route. And we destroy them by a mile. This mission is like sort of tricky if you take the route that the other boats go, which is obviously logical because you'd think that they're trying to get there as fast as possible. But yeah, just cutting in here is way faster and it's much more efficient. And then this drive on the way back is just killing all those dudes for being slow because we're trying to go fast and that's just not acceptable in this current climate. So we're just going to kill them all. Hoxie, who's Lance? You want to sort of give him a little introduction?
So Lance is the brother of Vic Vance, the person we did the drug deal at the beginning of the game with. When we got ambushed, Vic got killed. So Lance wants to find who is responsible for the ambush. And because we have the same goal, like who's responsible for the ambush, and Tommy wants to get the money back. Well, Sonny wants to get the money back, and so he sent Tommy to do it. we're just gonna cooperate.
We're gonna be good boys, and we're gonna head with Lance. Lance is a bit of a bit hollow in the old noggin, isn't he? He's not the smartest tool in the shed, or sharpest tool in the shed. Apparently, I'm also not the sharpest tool in the shed with this. So he's gonna end up getting in a lot of trouble, and we're gonna have to save him a bunch of times. And yeah, then he'll you know, do something at the end. Mega spoilers, but we won't even see it, so it's not even really spoilers. He betrays you. That's all you need to know. He takes the dark side. But yeah, Paul Lister, we're just sort of driving back, chilling on the boat. Not much else to do. This guy is no threat to us because we've killed the gunner on the boat. So one quick donation. You got time?
Absolutely. We have, well, I'll give you two quick ones. $100 from Anonymous with no comment.
Thank you.
And $15 from Lismati saying, shoutouts to EnglishBen, factually the most handsome Vice City runner. Good luck on the run. Back to you.
Thank you very much. I don't know if that's true. There's plenty of really good looking...
It's a fierce competition.
Yeah, fierce competition. Yeah. But I'll accept that. Thank you very much, Lismati. So as you can see here, we're using a closed replay and we're sort of driving away. We're supposed to be talking to Lance, but, you know, he's, you know, not the sharpest. So we don't deal with him, so we can just drive away. And yeah, as I said before, we're going to head straight to Cortez. So...
on the rock.
Yeah, they said about, you know, don't fall into the water. I actually am going to fall into the water, but it's intentional. There you go. So when we were talking about earlier that the things have, like, no enter and exit animations with boats, it also applies to if you're near a jetty. So the game has, like, a fail-safe system. So if you have a boat nearby and you're at a jetty and you land in the water, it just teleports you to the nearest jetty, which is very nice. Because getting out of boats and trying to jump onto the actual jetty itself can be a real... You know, this game is not a parkour-based game. It's not very good.
Yeah, I guess I wanted to have boats without making it, like, completely inaccessible. You know, just make it so you just die every time you get off the boat.
Exactly, yeah. Like, obviously, San Andreas fixed that with swimming, but that wasn't, you know, a priority for VC, really, so this was, like, the next best thing they could do, and it's not a bad solution, to be fair.
I mean, it was also in GTA 3, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, true, yeah. GTA 3 was the first one to do it. Very true. I always forget that, like, you even use boats in that game, because you use them so infrequently.
Yeah, just use it in one mission.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, two, I guess.
Gone fishing and last requests, I guess.
Last request? Okay, well, three. Then.
Three then, yeah.
I was thinking of Adito.
Adito also, yeah. There's a couple of times. But yeah, this mission, so yes, sir, it sounds very difficult in theory. We have to steal a tank from the army, but the army is not particularly smart. So I'm going to shoot the gunner out, and the driver is going to get out and just be like, dude, what's going on? And I'm just going to walk in and take it. So, you know. The army is not the smartest bunch of people. And then we just need to go and store it in a garage, and in typical GTA fashion, if we store it in the garage and the mission completes, nobody cares about us anymore, so very nice. You'll notice that I'm sort of semi-frequently shooting the gun behind me, the tank. Not too much, but that's because it sort of gives you a lot of like propulsion. It propels you quite far forward, so it makes the tank a little bit faster. And this is around the point. As we say, we deviated a little bit from the route when we were looking at, you know, any % no issue versus all missions. This is where I would say, like, the sort of biggest deviations happen. Because essentially the way this route works that I'm doing here is we want to get access to the Malibu club as quickly as possible for one of the Instapasses that we were talking about. The problem is that the Malibu costs $120,000. We don't have nearly that much. We only have 25,000. But conveniently, there is a mission that we're about to do in 2 missions time that gives us 50k. So, what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate it, as we talked about before, and you actually get the 50,000 reward twice. So that will give us 125,000, which is exactly enough, well, slightly over the amount that we need, in order to purchase the Malibu Club and continue on with this route.
Speak to you later.
So it is very convenient, and we can sort of go into why we're going to go, you know, which mission we're going to instapass later. So it's a very infamous one. Something that a lot of people are going to be very excited for, I'm sure. But for now, Death Row, very exciting. What I'm looking for, there's one here, very nice, is I made a replay over the Tech 9 Rampage, and we're going to do basically the same as what we did earlier. So you want to find like a submission vehicle, you can use the fire truck, or the taxi is perfect. Give him his taxi back. There you go, buddy. Only need it for a second. Sorry for the inconvenience.
He needs to borrow it.
Yeah, so essentially all that we did was we started Taxi, which also has a remote sort of submission, which is Taxi Driver, where you can drop off people for money. And we started that and the Tech 9 Rampage, which we just made the replay of at the same time. And that allows us to... Oh, got a bit of height there. Nice. That allows us to get the On Mission 0 Rampage that we were talking about. So, as you imagined before, we get the On Mission 0 Rampage, we chain that into a duplication, and then we're able to duplicate Rub Out, which is the mission after this one. The only difference is that we're not going to chain the Rampage too much, because once this Rampage expires, it's going to expire and I'm not going to activate it again for a while. But instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up what we call an on-mission phone call. MH, do you want to sort of go into how on-mission 0 Rampages are different to on-mission 0 phone calls for this setup?
Yeah, so phone calls are another one of the things that kind of affect the on-mission flag. So if you have a phone call, usually you can't start missions, and usually during missions you can't get phone calls. So, like, let's say that you end a mission and the phone is ringing, and the phone just keeps ringing because, like, you know, you're on mission 0 mission using all this rampage setup and whatnot. If you hold that phone call, there's a way to, like, get into vehicles without the phone call canceling. If you do that, you hold, like, a certain key that's bound to both the button you use to take the phone call and also the radio change key. That has to do with how the button, like, is kind of mapped in the code, because on the PS2 version, those are the same button, L1, I believe.
It's a slightly functional PS2 port, basically. Yep.
Yeah. But anyway, you have a key that's bound to both of those, you hold it, then you can get into vehicles and get out of vehicles and do whatever, and the call is still going to be available for you to take. So you can actually start a mission with the phone call, you know, after you drive somewhere else or fly somewhere else. And you can sometimes finish taking the phone call. Usually you cancel it though, and then you can, in this case, start the mission a second time. So yeah, it's a portable kind of on-mission manipulation thing. It's really, really convenient.
It is very convenient,
Yeah.
So in this particular mission, Death Row, we need to save Lance because he's got himself captured. And here he is.
There goes my careful plan on this
And
shit.
he's got
Thanks
captured
to
by
you.
Diaz's
Keep
guys
up
because
your
we figured out that
lads.
Diaz, who we've been
Kill
working
my
for, is
brother.
actually the one
What do you
who
expect me to
ambushed the
do,
deal.
mow his lawns?
Lance gets
Now,
very
take
upset,
that
gets
prick
himself
Diaz
caught, and
before
we
he
need to
takes
save
us.
him. Usually you would have to like fight all the way through the scrapyard, and there's a bunch of dudes, and then there's a bunch more dudes that come and attack you afterwards. But because of the fact that we flew in with a helicopter, which I brought with me, very handy tool in this particular situation, we can just fly in and out from the end and not have to deal with any of the guys. Very nice. Lance, you good? Okay. He was like running into the wall there. A very common thing is that Lance can be very silly sometimes. You'll start walking into walls and all sorts of stuff. There is ways that we can like manipulate his AI to make him follow us as much as possible, but sometimes he just gets confused and starts, you know, headbutting the nearest piece of concrete for some reason, but he's mostly okay. Yeah, so MH, as MH was saying earlier, as you can see at the top left, there's a thing that says like tab and caps lock. That's my button for holding the phone call. So I currently have a phone call held, and if I were to get out of the helicopter right now and let go of caps lock, I would answer the phone call even though I'm on a mission. So that phone call currently has locked me into like an on mission 1 state, but as soon as I complete the mission, the game forces me on mission 0 again. So essentially what's currently happening is I'm still holding caps lock while I'm flying the entire time, and I now have a phone call that, even though I have a phone call held, which should be, you know, a sort of mini on mission toggle, as you can see by the minimap, I have the A and D markers, which means that I'm in free roam mode. So this particular phone call that I have is a very short phone call. It's Mr. Black who gives you the assassination missions, and his phone calls are very short. He literally just says to you, get to this place, answer the phone, basically. So we can use that right here. So we can head towards Rub Out, which is the mission that gives 50 grand that we were talking about, and we can park our helicopter in a nice little sort of nearby spot. I can't use the mouse while I'm like holding the 3 different buttons, so if you're wondering why I'm sort of running like this a bit weirdly, that's why. But I'm gonna walk in, let go of caps lock, and answer the call, as you can hear. So I start Rub Out, and then you see the cutscene, and then we gain control for a second, and we see the cutscene twice. So that means that Rub Out has now been duplicated, and if all goes well, I'll complete it, and I'll get $100,000. So another thing that we can do in this mission, which is very nice, is you're intended to go around the back, because it will say, if you're familiar with reading Japanese, you'll see here, it will say, the door is locked, find another way. But my other way is to sort of wedge myself into this doorway, and eventually I'll just clip right on through. Hello, Diaz. There's 2 of them because the mission is duped, and their AI isn't activated because I never sort of triggered them. I can just kill them both with my gun, run towards the end point in this sort of weird out-of-bounds area, and there you go. That's Robot duped.
Yeah. If you don't kill both Diaz's, if I remember correctly, there's a chance one of the instances will
Yeah, one of the
fail.
instance fails, so you only get 50,000. Yeah, so very important that you gun them both down. Very important. Yep. The next mission, the marker isn't there because we've just sort of completed the last one, but this is Shakedown. This mission is very important because once you complete this is where you start like the non-linear section of Vice City. So if you've played it casually, you'll know that you can sort of buy businesses. As we were saying, buying the Malibu Club and whatnot earlier. They have missions, so we need to complete them because we're doing all missions. But also they give you assets. So when you complete all of a certain missions or do certain tasks for the buildings that you buy, you gain the assets. And in order to access the final 2 missions of the game, you need 7 assets total. We'll be doing glitches with assets later on, so I won't go too much into it. But this mission is important because once you beat it, you gain access to the asset system. We're going to use that straight away. Because if you saw back during Death Row, I actually made a replay over the Malibu Club's like buy icon. So usually you go over there and you can sort of press tab and you can buy it for $120,000 once you've beaten this mission. But we're going to buy it inside of a replay, and that is very useful because it means that I don't pay any money for it. So as long as I have enough money, which I do, I can buy it within a replay and I'll still have 125,000 at the end. So that's very convenient because it means that I don't have to, I can buy all the properties in the game, which I need to do to complete all the missions in the game. But I don't need to grind any money by doing any sort of cone crazy shenanigans or, you know, waiting for all the money to rack up from like protection and whatnot. So very fast. These windows are kind of a pain sometimes. Hoxie, do you remember how they work?
Yeah, it's the first shot will never break them, but every next shot is what was it, 40%?
It's like 20 or 25, I think. But yeah, it's basically random when your next bullet will destroy them. It's like a % chance. So sometimes you can be shooting them all day. I actually missed a window there. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, there are
that's the nice thing about grenades. Just blow them up.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why we bought grenades from the ammunition nearby. We bought armor because we're going to need it for the next mission. Because the next mission is very annoying. We bought a sniper rifle for later. We'll go into more detail on that later on. And then we bought grenades, so we can use grenades for a lot of different things. One of them is destroying those windows. So now I'm going to do a glitch that allows me to buy the Malibu, as we were saying, without using any money. And it also means that it teleports me there, which is fantastic. What I should do is I'm going to make a save. I won't usually do this, but this mission is very annoying and can fail very quickly. So I'm going to make a quick save, just to be sure. Hopefully I get there before the phone call starts. No, that's fine. We can just cancel the phone call, luckily. You don't have to take phone calls if your phone starts ringing. You can just try and enter a vehicle and it'll cancel it. Phone call routing is very particular in this game. We need it in a lot of different places. So it's very important that I take the right phone calls at the right time. They have a sort of priority list, so they always come in the same order if you answer them in the same order, if that makes sense. So like, certain ones that unlock certain missions will have higher priority over certain ones that don't. Mainly the ones that progress the story and whatnot. So I'm going to grab this bike here. It's going to be very useful because the PCJ is very fast, as you saw we're using it a lot at the start of the run. And No Escape is probably one of the worst missions in the game. I know I say that a lot because I'm just bad at them, but trust me, this mission sucks. And the reason why is because we need to infiltrate the police HQ, grab this key card, and then immediately we get 4 stars. So we need to bust Cam Jones out of prison for a bank heist later on. So once we're out of the prison, we need to get him out and get him to safety and lose the cops while you have 4 stars. Now, 4 stars is the level where the FBI, the like Miami Vice.
FBI is 5 stars.
Okay, so not the FBI, but the SWAT team, the Miami Vice guys, the regular police will just all come flying at you. So yeah, as you can see, they are gunning me down. I've already lost half my health that quickly. Hello.
Yeah, and the cops inside the police station have SMG.
Cam, please don't knock over the bike. I need that. Let's go. Okay, good.
That was fairly smooth.
Yeah, it's not over yet, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Hold your applause.
Still need to get to the paint spray.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things that you can do to make this easier, such as like glitching traffic so there's no traffic on the roads and the police cars don't spawn. You can't do that in this route, so I'm not going to because it's very slow. So instead, we sort of just got to deal with the police. Hope they don't pop our tires, hope they don't crash into us. And once we get to the pay and spray, we're a lot more safe. So that's when you can give me a big clap to feel good about myself. Not yet. A few more seconds. Oh, yeah, I hear you. Don't do it. See, you almost got me killed. Come on. Okay, now you can. Woo! Oh. Yeah, that mission can be very scary. I'm just going to be very careful when I'm pulling out to not cause too much havoc, because as you can see, my wanted level is still flashing, and that means that if I commit any crime, so if I fire my gun right now at somebody, I would get given the full 4-star wanted level back. Yeah, not such a good plan. I once did a run where I got here, did all the difficult part, and then I shot my gun at a car trying to be fancy, and then the car ran into me, I got 4 stars, and I got knocked off the bridge and died. It was, not very cool.
That's a karma moment.
Yeah, I absolutely deserved it. Ever since then, I don't mess about during runs. There's no point.
Especially not doing this mission.
It's really not worth it. This category is hard enough as it is. Yeah, so we drop off cam, and then we're going to, if you notice during the mission, we made a replay over the apartment building. So it's not just asset buildings where we can teleport to. We can actually use it for any sort of safe house. So I'm going to hop in this FBI cheetah, which is very convenient, and I'm going to teleport back to the safe house that I just bought. So this is a frame perfect trick, but you can do it as many times as you want, so it's not a big deal if you fail it. But yeah, we've purchased this house, and then we actually have a replay on top of. You can see there's like the markers are doubled up, but there's also a save replay. I'm going to use that and start Vigilante on Mission 0. Hox, do you want to sort of go through what we're going through here?
Yeah. So
that would save markers, I guess.
Save markers, yeah. So save markers is usually you pick it up and then you save your game. But they also change on mission to 1 when you pick them up. So we can use this to get on Mission 0 submissions by holding the submission key, playing the replay to pick up the save marker, and then letting go of the submission button to start the mission, and also get the on Mission 0 set by the save marker.
Yeah, so it's very useful because we can sort of use phone calls to like hold them through missions, and they give us like a lot of extra benefits. But then also we'll be answering pretty much all the phone calls that we need to for this segment during a mission where you're sort of waiting around not doing a whole lot. So it's super efficient.
Yeah.
For now, I'm not taking any phone calls. I'm just going to make sure that there's 2 things that I need to do. I need to make sure that I get the phone call and also do this fancy snipe. So you want to, MH, you want to sort of give an idea about how this mission works and what I'm going to do? You'll miss it.
Okay, yeah. So basically, you're supposed to kill this dude. And
I'm blind. Don't laugh at the fact that I'm zooming into my monitor here.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
good.
There we go.
And you're supposed to go into the golf course and kill him, but yeah, you can just snipe him from the outside with a reference. So
Yep.
yeah.
And I was also...
Yeah, sniper
go
bullets
ahead,
go through
MH.
walls.
Yeah, sniper bullets, they travel so fast that they can go through walls, so you can wall bang a lot of people. Yeah, so you snipe that guy from across the map, and I also deliberately did it while my phone was ringing, so that I got another on Mission 0 phone call, which I can use here. So this is where we're going to set up for the first insta-pass of the run. So the shootist is usually, so it's a second Malibu mission. It's usually quite boring. You just prove that you're better than some guy at shooting just by beating him in a competition, and that's sort of it. But the shootist has a very particular property with the fact that we can use it to insta-pass another mission. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with the mission Demolition Man when you were playing this game as a kid. It's the RC Heli mission one. Yes, that one that everyone hates. Yeah, boo! Yeah. I agree, boo. Yeah, so it's the mission that absolutely everyone hates. I also hate it in speedruns because it's very boring. It's like 5 minutes long, and it's not very interesting at all. But what we can do is we can line up a very particular set of strategies that allows us to basically start the shootist, and then... Did I start the shootist the second time? I did, didn't I?
Well, you're on Mission 0.
Yeah, I must be, okay. Yeah, sometimes I get kind of carried away with explaining stuff, and I don't actually do what I'm saying that I'm doing, so yeah. Someone would have yelled at me by now. But yeah, so we start the shootist twice, because we still need to complete the actual shootist mission itself, and it's kind of out the way at the downtown ammunition, so we start it twice, we pass one instance of the mission, and then we progress the second instance of the mission to a certain point, which is going to be in between rounds 2 and 3, and then we're going to death warp to get out of the sort of mission state, because if we just walk out of the ammunition at any time, then we fail the mission because we abandon it. But if we death warp, then we can get out of the ammunition and go and start Demolition Man. And if we time and do everything correctly, then it will instantly pass Demolition Man. So we're all good to go. In the meantime, we're just going to be doing this mission normally. This is an unskippable tutorial where it tells you basically what you need to do in order to complete the mission. Basically, we just need to get 61 points, 60 or more, in order to impress a guy. That's basically all there is to it. Left click to shoot, and yeah, it's all about aim, I suppose, which I'm not very good at. So, Paulister, let's do it.
All right,
Donations.
let's do it indeed. So, here's $20 from Aqua Z saying, hello, EnglishBen. Hello, Hoxie.
Hi.
We also have $25 from Anonymous saying, I didn't know agent smithing a guy was a legit speedrun strategy. And $10 from Archie saying, sick run already, keep crushing it. Shout out to the assembled GTA community. And we have $100 from Counterpillow
Nice.
saying, streamer, go army base. Thank you all for
Awesome.
your donations. Back to you.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah. So as you can see, my aim is not particularly good on a good day, but you know, nerves and whatnot, we're zooming through. But we're not going to get 61 points on this particular test because there's 3 different tests, and the second one is much faster to get points on. Because the way the first one works is you shoot sort of the 5 targets, and once you destroy them, you get a set point value. The first one is 1 point, the one behind it is 2, and then the one all the way back is 3. So if you think about it in the most basic terms, it's 5 bullets invested for just 3 points, whereas this is just 1 click, 1 point, so it's a lot faster to get points. So yeah, we're at 53, 4,
Yeah.
5, 6, 7.
The one thing is that, sorry.
Go ahead. I'm just really bad at counting, so I like to do it out loud.
Okay.
We're good. We're
yeah,
good.
yeah. I do that in my head when I do this. Yeah, but you don't have enough bullets to do the whole thing in the second round, so you have to do at least some of it in the first.
Yeah, so usually we
a
do
lot of
about
people
like
to go
20.
for- Yeah, like you could do less, but that's kind of like you have to be really confident in your shooting abilities for the second round.
And
The
I am
third round is
not.
just super duper slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
89%. That's pretty good.
So, you want to do me a
Not
favor
bad
and
for
help
me,
put
not bad for
together
me.
a
My
job?
average is like 45, so...
Like that, if you asked me to be here, why?
Big
So-
improvement.
I'd say
Yeah, big
so.
improvement, yeah. Do well under pressure. So yeah, so Phil is impressed, which is great. Mission passed. And then you see the marker here. We're going to walk back into it, which sort of progresses the second instance of the mission. Fortunately, we don't have to go to the unskippable things again because we've done it before. So the game knows that we've done it before, so it lets us skip it. And then we're going to cancel out. We're going to shoot these guys in a very particular place. Well, I'll tell you why in a second. We're going to get a wanted level, throw a grenade at the floor, do damage to ourselves. Excuse me. And then we're going to cancel round 2, so we're between rounds 2 and 3. And we're going to kill ourselves here. Hawks, you want to go through the whole setup there, like why we need the wanted level and why we shoot those guys in that particular way?
So you shoot them in the back with a pistol, so you don't just kill them. Because if you shoot with certain weapons like the courier into the leg, the arm, and obviously the head, you can crit just them and kill them instantly, and we don't want that because that's bad. And
Right.
we need that wanted level to not get the phone call, because if I remember correctly, if you get a phone call during like the between the rounds when trying to like kill yourself, the mission fails, right?
No, so the reason is because if you die on mission 1, then the mission fails, right?
Yeah.
But for some odd reason, I guess because again, developer oversight, they never expected you to do a mission on mission 0. If we die on a mission while we're in free roam mode, which is what that setup was for, then the mission doesn't fail. So the mission is still running in the background, and that's what allows us to do the insta-pass. So I'm going to quickly save walk back to save a little bit of time. I'm going to go and grab the PCJ because the PCJ is very fast. And then,
The playgrounds.
yeah, so the shootist is still running in a very particular state. Like the mission is like in a very particular state between rounds 1 and 2. I'm going to hold the call because if I don't, I would start the mission here, PCJ Playground, and that would crash me. So I'm going to hold the call to make sure I'm on mission 1 for now. Then I'll let go of it. As you see, we've now got the Avery marker and whatnot again. And then I need to start this mission and skip the cutscene at a very particular time. If I do it too early or too late, it's bad. So give me a second here.
So too late is not too bad. You just need to watch the cutscene.
It's just slow.
Yeah, it's just slow. If you do it thoroughly, you soft lock.
Perfect anyway. Let's go.
Nice.
Woo!
Yeah, so not quite over yet. My phone is ringing. Demolition Man has been insta-passed. There is another instance of the mission running, but as you see, I just failed it. And that's because we don't want the next instance on the next mission that we're going to start while the other instance of Demolition Man is running. Because if we do that, then we'll crash the game. So we clear all the instances, and then we have another on mission 0 phone call, because we failed the mission, which puts us into free roam mode while the phone is ringing. So if any of that was confusing to you, I do apologize. It is like quite a complicated setup, and it's very long. All you basically need to know is that we started Demolition Man, which is, you know, that RC mission, and then we passed it instantly. That's what that glitch was, basically. So we don't have to do any of those really annoying missions, which is very nice. So next up is bar brawl. I just took that phone call because we need to take it anyway. And obviously, the best time to take it is also when we're doing other things at the same time. And the other thing that we were doing is just making sure that we're on mission 0 bar brawl by letting the phone call expire when we actually start the mission. So we've been keeping this phone call with us this entire time and then taking it and sort of, you know, holding on to a new one. And the reason is because 2 missions from now, there is a mission where it's basically an auto-scroll and nothing interesting is going on. But we have around 4 or 5, is it 5? I think it's 5, phone calls in the queue. There's a lot of them, basically. Yeah. And we need to take all of them in order to access the next Payphone mission. And the Payphone mission, the actual like priority of the call is like at the lowest. So we need to take all of the calls before that and then take that one in order to access that one later on. The reason why I run those guys over, you might think to yourself it's kind of silly because, you know, we have guns. But it's very particular because we need to keep the phone call chain going. And you can't get phone calls while you have a wanted level. And if I shoot those guys, I automatically get a 1-star wanted level because like shooting your gun is more of a crime than vehicular manslaughter, I guess. I don't know. Like,
I think it's related to just the Japanese version.
Possibly, yeah, it could be. So another thing that I'm doing is I'm making sure to reload my gun just by double tapping F1, which is my replay key. And as you see, that allows you to like reload sniper rifles and stuff very quickly. So these guys are the dudes that we need to kill to finish the mission. So I kept the phone call, which you saw. I'm holding on to it. And then I'm just going to go ahead and drive by these dudes. I missed that one. Missed that one as well. I'm very particular because I need to, as you saw, it looks kind of silly. But the reason why I pulled into the right lane there is because there's a security car that spawns that tries to like run you down. And they drive super fast. So if I like got hit by it, then it would be much worse than what's happening right now. So we kill those guys. We're still holding on to the phone call the whole time. And then we're going to go and sort of chain that call into auto side, which is the third payphone mission. This payphone mission is also annoying, not because of the fact that, like the same reason as the last 2, but just because there's some tricky strategies, and also you've got to kill like 5 different dudes across the map, and they're all like equally a pain for different reasons.
Yeah. The last one is like a repeat of Roadkill, pretty much.
Yeah, but also like, when you get too close to him, it's just like a pure proximity thing. So it's like, oh, he saw you. Even if you're on the other side of a building, he spots you. Like, it's complete nonsense. This dude is quite easy. You just line up a particular shot where you can sort of shoot him through the pillar there with the sniper rifle. The sniper rifle is very useful for these particular kills. It's very powerful and you can spam it very quickly. If you're wondering how we got these guns, if you saw at the end of the shootist, we obviously died and lost all of our weapons. So I went to the ammunition and bought a load more, because right now we don't need to worry about money, so I can just spend like all of my money on guns. So we're all good. This guy, we can just snipe out of his window before he drives off, which is very nice. Doing this with rain isn't the easiest as well. Rain like messes up the physics quite a lot. These 2 guys coming up, one of them has a stubby shotgun, which is very overpowered and can like 2-shot you, so it's very important that I keep my distance. And I'll snipe them both out of the car as well, hopefully. But even if I don't, because I'm keeping my distance, they have like a while to run towards me, so I can just pop them there. Turn around, because I'm going to be heading back the other way. Don't worry about the phone ringing, it's normal. I'm going to be using that in a sec. Is he dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's dead. So you see like the weird animation of him like falling out of the car, which is very strange. It's all very delayed. We can teleport back towards the Malibu. It's a slight optimization just because we're heading further south. And then this is the trickiest guy to kill. He's just on a boat. He's not moving at all, and he's very easy to kill, you know, when you're playing intended way. But we're not playing the intended way. Instead, I'm going to go here to my right. That was almost bad. The rain had just stopped, so I thought I had rain physics, and I was driving like I had rain physics, but I didn't. I'm going to stand up right here. I'm going to aim like here-ish, something like that. Spam the boat and hopefully it'll blow up. Nice.
That was quick.
Very nice. I don't know how I'm doing so well, but I hope it stays this way.
Marathon lock.
And then we're going to make sure to hold the phone call, because when we kill this last guy, the mission's going to pass, and we want to be holding the call when the mission passes. So as you can see, he's still a little yellow dot on the map. He's still miles away. But as we pull up to him, he'll spot us from like 600 meters away. So we're not even in his view, but he's already spotted us, and now he's going away. Like, we were around the corner. Like, this guy is wall hacking or something. Like, he needs to be reported straight away. You see, he's flying off. He somehow knows that we're chasing him.
Yeah. You say that right after you see like some dude on a boat through walls.
Yeah, true. I'm like, this guy's wall hacking. Also me, like, wall banging a dude from like 600 miles away. That's true. I'm a hypocrite. My bad. Yeah, so we kill that guy. We're holding the call. So we have another on mission 0 phone call. And this mission coming up is the sort of simple one where we're on a boat with Cortez defending him. There's no real way to speed it up in any kind of significant way. So we're just going to take like all the phone calls that we have in our backlog, which is very nice. So yeah, we bail off, and as we walk in, we'll answer the phone, speak to Avery. And yeah, Paulister, you got some stuff to read. Read as much as you like, because about 3 minutes here where not a whole lot goes on.
All right, fantastic. I can start us off with a few donations. We have $20 from Average Dom saying, best of luck to EnglishBen, save the children. We have $5 from Paulo saying, good to see Ben back alive. Good luck, big guy. $25 from Space Phoenix saying, greetings from Germany, a classic. And $10 straight from the audience from Fresh Riggy saying, shame we don't get the RC helicopter. Keep it going, Big Ben.
Thank you very much.
Do we have
Paulister,
some more time?
more than welcome to read any charity stuff that you'd like to. More than enough time.
I can update us a bit on some of the incentives, actually. So, in the upcoming run of Hades for the Beat Charon bonus run, we're still at $900 out of 2,000. That's $1,100 to go, and I'd like to see that bonus run happen. So, let's get those donations in so we can see a little bit of extra content for a lovely game for the lovely game that is Hades. Right after that, the Through the Fire and Flames song for the Gitadora showcase is at $515 out of 1,000, so we're just over halfway there. So by all means, get those donations in for both of those, because they're going to be very exciting. Need me to keep going, or are you good?
I mean, I'm good, but if you're good, then keep going.
All right, I guess, yeah, I can talk a little bit about Save the Children. And their mission, which is Save the Children believes every child deserves a future. So let's remember why we're here. Today, 1 in 5 children across the globe live in a conflict zone. Let's do something together to change their lives for the better by donating to Save the Children and their cause to ensure children's rights are protected, even in times of war. So thank you all for donating so far. We are $140 away from $12,000. So let's make that happen. All right, back to you, EnglishBen.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm just sort of taking phone calls, messing about. But the way I was killing those sailors is a very particular way, just while I nuke these helicopters. The simple reason is that, for some odd reason, like, when you go to kill them, I want to, like, farm all their M4 ammo that they have. But if you kill them in a certain way, they take too long to fall over, and that means that they despawn with their weapon before you're even able to, pick it up. So I was, like, deliberately swinging my katana from behind, so that they would have a shorter death animation, so then I could actually pick up their ammo. That's something that MH and I were very bored one day, and we actually tested that stuff. It was a very interesting evening, as you can imagine.
Yeah, we really had like no clue why all that stuff was happening, and then eventually we just kind of figured out like, oh yeah, like they just kind of vanish into thin air like when you kill them, and they only drop the weapon when they like finish their death animation. So you just kill them in a way where their death animation is shorter. They just like fall onto their face instead of like falling onto their knees and then onto their face.
Yep.
So yeah, this is like depending on where you kill them and what weapon you use and stuff.
Yeah, before that, people just used to grenades on them, but that's just wasting grenades.
Yeah, I don't have that many in this run, so... Yeah, so we get put in the middle of nowhere with the boat, but thankfully, we're actually in the district where we can save warp back to the Malibu. So it's very fortunate, because then we can do the driver, which is the next Malibu mission. This one, a lot of people find tricky because it's an example of the game being extremely unfair. Because as you can see, Hillary, that we have to beat in a race, has a very fast car, and we don't have a very fast car. But if he's going to cheat, I'm going to cheat too. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm just going to grab this PCJ right up here, which is a much faster vehicle than he has. So, yeah, screw you. So we do get 2 stars here because, you know, illegal street racing is not particularly legal in Florida, apparently. And he does have quite a head start, but we can easily catch up to him. And the reason we can catch up is because I'm doing something that I probably should have explained like an hour ago. I do apologize for that. Because we've been doing it through the whole run. But if you notice, Tommy is sort of like bobbing his head a little bit and like standing up and down like this, like sort of like, you know, switching between the two very quick by like mashing the button. And the reason for that is, so on the, if you play this on the PS2 on the controller, and you sort of like lean forward but don't like stand all the way up, you actually go a lot faster on a bike. I'm not sure if it's a glitch or if it's intended. There's like a lot of arguments in the community as like some people believe it's intended, some people believe it's just like an exploit and it's an oversight. I don't know. I don't really like to question these things. I just kind of do them. But yeah, on PC, because you don't have an analog stick, you're just using like, you know, sort of binary keyboard inputs. The only way that you can do it is to just mash the button as fast as possible to sort of remain in that state. And as you can see, that allows us to go much faster than Hillary is, and we can just leave him in the dust, so it's all good. The only thing we need to do is just look to avoid the cops that spawn, because there's like set traps when you have 2-star wanted levels, like one here, for example. Didn't spawn, never mind.
Yeah, if you go over the sidewalk, they usually don't spawn.
Yeah, there are certain like traps where you like drive over certain places, so I guess I just must have slightly missed the zone. But yeah, smoked Hillary there, 1-0, easy.
Okay, I'll drive for you, but
Easy game.
please.
Easy game.
Bad.
So the next mission is just over the river. So I'm going to do, there's a convenient ramp here where you can do a unique stunt jump. I'm going to try and avoid the stunt jump by sort of going to the side. I didn't, that's fine. But if you go like slightly off to the side of the ramp, you can skip the slow motion here while going across. It's only a few seconds, doesn't really make a huge difference.
Yeah, and if you mess it up, you go into the water.
Yeah, thankfully we can just like save walk back to the Malibu. It's like teleport back if things do go wrong.
Oh, yeah.
It's something that I didn't realize that you could do until I saw someone do it by saving their own bacon. I was like, that's genius. Like I've lost runs to that. I didn't know you could do that. So yeah, very nice. Where is my bike?
Oh, it's gone.
Okay. Hello.
You re-enter it after the driver.
Oh yeah, maybe because I didn't re-enter it. Oh, whatever. It's fine. This is a bike. This is good enough.
Oh, there you go. This
Hey, look,
okay.
a bike. Oh, thank you. Thank you, sir. Goodbye. How convenient that like maybe it was the guy that maybe he stole my bike, and then you know saw that I was chasing after him and was like, oh no, and panicked. Yeah, very nice. All's well that ends well. I never make mistakes. I just get unlucky. That's how it works. Yeah, so 2-Bit Hit is the continuation of the Avery missions, and it's also the mission that unlocks the big gang storyline that we're going to be doing. I'm going to make a little detour here. There's some grenades in this basketball court. Wouldn't advise playing catch with these. So I'm going to take them, you know, so no kids get hurt or anything like that. Good guy, Tommy. And then I'm going to use those later on for a very annoying trick that is very luck-based. So hopefully it goes well, but we'll get more into that at the time. This mission is quite simple. The only thing that we need to do is I'm going to make a replay on the way. Ooh, almost. I always say this is very simple, and then I just like completely like, you know, eat the concrete almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tech 9 replay, very useful. I'm going to use it again very soon. And we're going to head towards the mission objective. In this mission, we need to get some Cuban clothes, as you're seeing me wear, and we need to show our faces and kill a Haitian like warlord or whatever he is, like a high-ranking guy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap him once, get his attention, and then I'll kill him. And that is just so he's like aware that I'm in the Cuban clothes, because if we just kill him like with one bullet straight away, then we'll actually fail the mission because we need it to be like done in a Cuban outfit. Then I'm going to make a different replay here with my F1 key instead of F3. MH, do you want to talk about F1 replays for a little bit while I'm zooming about?
All right. Yeah, so basically, we're going to be talking a little bit about fundamentally how the replay system even works to begin with. So
that's a good idea.
There's like there's kind of like a cache of CACHE of like game data that's being kind of like temporarily stored, and when you press F1, it plays that back. And it's not like a certain length; it's like a certain amount of data. So there's more stuff going on, but then the length of the replay that it can be saved is going to be shorter. When you press F2, it saves what you have in the F1 view to disk. So then you have like the replay file, and you play that back with F3. So that's most of the replays. But if you want to have a saved replay, you can only have one at a time. So if you don't want to overwrite that, but you still want to like remotely do stuff with the replay, kind of like in a short period of time where like you kind of clear the cache by pressing the F3 replay. So that kind of like makes it so the replay starts where you're at. Then you can do stuff with an F1 replay, we call it. So yeah, that's what he did right there. He still has his replay of whatever he made the saved replay over. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the save icon, yeah.
Yeah. And then he bought Coffin Capture free after finishing the mission, so
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was able to basically set up the F3 cache to be stood at Kaufman Cabs when I pressed F1, so I was able to just basically use that as like a mini F3 replay, which is very nice. This mission can be a little bit of a pain. Hopefully it goes well, because the VIP can...
Just run over.
Yeah, please get in.
Uh-oh.
We're fine. Yeah, we're good. He's fine, bit of brain trauma, it's all good. I've got that too, and I'm doing fine. Yeah, the rival taxi chases you, and sometimes he can come all the way at you and do some real damage, so hopefully he doesn't follow me all the way down here. Hey, look, he's following me all the way down here.
That doesn't sound good. Uh-oh.
This guy's stubborn.
Wow.
Stubborn guy.
I'm just going to get in.
Yeah, my recommendation is you kill this guy every time. You gotta take it.
Right, yeah, you go that way, I'll go this way. Okay, cool.
That was not clear at all.
That was a little close. I may have held my breath, a little bit, but we're all good. It's all calculated. Don't worry about it. Probably should get health in this next mission,
That's
right?
not that bad idea.
Yeah, there's a little. It's slightly out of the way, but there is health in the airport, which is where we're going next. So I'll make sure to grab the health. Can I even grab it without failing the mission because of like proximity?
Just
if I get too close.
Get it after you get the briefcase.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense.
Just don't get shot at.
Yeah. So I'm gonna deliberately let my phone ring again here while I get the VIP into the marker. That's again to set up an on mission 0 phone call because we have 2 phone calls that we need to take. And this is another mission where we're not doing too much. So I'm going to hold it. I'm going to re-enter this because I want to park it in a very particular spot. Otherwise it'll despawn. Then I'm going to walk in here and start the next payphone mission. There's a couple of things that we need to do here. Hopefully I remember to get the health, that's kind of important. But we're going to grab the sniper rifle. I'm going to glitch the call, which we haven't talked about yet, which we should. But really quick, in this particular scenario, I'm going to shoot to get rid of all the ammo except one. So you see I'm using replays here to sort of speed it up. So the reason why I'm doing this is because the sort of, like, what do you call them, like the metal detectors that we just went through here, kind of bugged. So if you use your last bullet and then walk through so the game takes the sniper rifle away from you, it actually refills the clip, so I'll get like 40 free sniper rifle bullets, which is nice. There's a lot more than 10, and we'll be using them later on.
I don't know that, actually.
Yeah. So we're going to take the second phone call here. Go on, MH.
Okay, yeah, so even if you expend all the bullets, it looks like the gun just kind of disappears. When, in fact, you still have the gun, you just can't select it.
Yep. So. Okay, health is up here. So not the most convenient thing, but it's not too bad. So as you'll see, we'll walk out here once we take the call, and we'll have a sniper rifle, and we get 40 bullets. We do lose our like automatic sniper, but that's fine. We don't need it anymore. So, no. Got the police after us. And also, if you take the intended route out of the airport, you actually get ambushed by a bunch of dudes in like with like very heavy weapons. So this mission is quite difficult if you do it the intended way. But I'm going to deliberately drive this way out of the airport, which is, not what they're expecting at all. They're expecting me to take the roads. But I don't have a license, and I don't really know what I'm doing, so I'm just driving wherever. And then we can teleport back, take our PCJ that we conveniently left for us. And we've basically skipped the encounter with the guys who were going to come and kill us. So all we have to deal with is the police. But, we dealt with 4 stars pretty good. 2 stars is much easier than 4 stars, so it's not too bad.
Much nothing.
Yeah. And then we're just going to drive all the way back to the ammunition, all the way up north, where we went to do the shootouts and everything, and drop off whatever we picked up. I don't even know what it is. Just something. Some briefcase of some kind of, value. Mission done. Nice. So I guess I could have got armor here as well if I didn't get the health.
Oh, yeah.
Could have just bought it here, but health is fine. We don't need 100 health also. So now we're going to start the Love Juice storyline. Love Juice is a fantastic little set of characters, a Scottish band. Their music, yeah, their music is actually on Spotify. You know, we have it on our playlist, don't we? Good music. Yeah, and they basically want to live like a rock and roll lifestyle, and we basically act as like their bodyguards. So we're gonna go and get them drugs. We're gonna go and get them, you know, some female attention, and a bunch of other things.
Of course, we get scammed because
Yeah, we get scammed because, you know, Florida drug dealers, I guess.
not very reputable businessman.
Yeah, exactly. No, we don't exactly go through it to the most reputable sources. I'm gonna leave this guy a horrible Trustpilot review later.
And these illegal drug dealers are unreliable.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, hey, it's his brother. I am so sorry what I just did, but you know, it had to be done. Okay. But yeah, it's very important that we sort of kill him and don't get into a proper firefight with him, because he has a stubby shotgun, as you saw, and as we said earlier, those shotguns are devastating. Like, they will kill me in 2 shots easily. So on the way to picking up Mercedes, who we need for this next segment, we're gonna make a little stop. Make a replay over the film studios, which we'll be by warping to later. We've still got a couple of missions to do before we worry about that. For some reason, this section here, where you pick up Mercedes and you have to get back, for some reason, it's quite a tight timer. Honestly, I know the lore of this mission. I have no idea why they put a timer on this. It doesn't make any sense. It's just like...
It's just for the sake of it.
Yeah, like, you don't get back within exactly 60 seconds. It's like, oh, Lovefest is mildly annoyed at you. Mission failed. It's like, what?
Yeah. You can take as long as you want before picking her up, but after picking her up...
Yeah, she gets too impatient, I guess, something. That's very strange. Yeah, so... fortunately, 60 seconds is more than enough time to get back if you know where you're going. It's 1 minute and 30, actually, but it's still quite a tight time limit to go all the way back to downtown. Don't want to bonk on any lampposts. But yeah, so if you're playing this casually, I remember I kind of struggled with this because the route that you want to take back to downtown like isn't the most obvious one if you're not familiar with the map. So the sort of logical route, which is heading straight west, is quite slow, and you don't end up making it in time. So, yeah. This is just a drive back. There isn't too much else to say. So, Paulister, got some quick donations. Fire them away.
Yeah, I can give you a few. Here's $20 from Andriback saying, donate to save the children. You know it makes sense, don't you, yeah? I don't understand the reference. I suppose you do?
I mean, it makes sense, right?
Don't you, yeah?
Thank you. I'm here all night. Thank you.
We also have $100 from Anonymous with no comment, but thank you very much. And $10 from 5Aw41 with also no comment. But I'm here to announce also, we've hit $12,000.
Let's go.
Nice.
And we're already well on our way to 13,000, so keep those donations coming. Back to you, EnglishBen.
Thank you very much. So, yeah, Psycho Killer is the second Love Juice mission. Lovefist have a stalker, and we need to go and deal with them in the most American way possible. We're just going to slaughter them at a signing. This is one of the shortest missions because we can buffer the input to get out of our vehicle. So instead of doing a car chase with them, which is what you're intended to do, I'm just going to buffer the exit input, which is my F key, to get out in the cutscene. And then I can just switch to my M4 and just shoot them immediately before they're able to drive away. So I'll just blow up the car just to make it a bit easier, and yeah, mission passed, nice and easy. So one thing we haven't talked about too much, but it will apply in the next couple of missions, MH, you can talk about it if you want to, is the 61 and 60 on the screen towards the top right. You want to talk a bit about you know, sort of what that does and what it means for the run?
Yeah, so basically that's kind of a remnant of the shootist mission where you're at the shooting range and stuff. That's because when he, you know, started the mission twice and, you know, did all that stuff. Actually, I think it's stuck there because of, well, I don't know exactly why, but basically,
it's just like a side
and now
effect.
it's stuck on screen.
Yeah, a side effect of duping the mission.
Yeah, it's just Demolition, man.
Yeah, and there's other stuff that usually displays there, like, you know, the time, like there's a timer there. On the next mission, there should be a timer and like a meter, like a chaos meter, because you gotta like, you know, mess stuff up. But I believe one or both of those is not going to be able to appear because the 61 60 is in the way.
Yeah, the meter doesn't appear.
Yeah, so it's like continuously drawing the 61 and 60. So whenever we have anything that has like a meter like the next mission, and it's happened in a couple of the previous ones, the text isn't actually there because it's just showing, or it's like underneath, I think, the 6160. Either that or it just doesn't draw it because there's already
Because the
something
slot
there.
is taken.
Yeah, I don't know which one it is. But yeah, so if you're ever wondering like, oh, where's the timer or where's like the things that I'm talking about, just assume that they're like buried under the 6160 at the right hand side.
Yeah, it goes away
Yeah.
if you save and reload. But
Yeah, exactly.
slow.
But there's no real convenient ways to do that without losing a bit of time. So we don't. We will later on, but it's quite a while away. So one thing to mention about this race, it's very simple. We stole one of their bikes, and that's because their bikes are like basically god bikes. So they have like increased like stats, so they're a lot faster than a regular Angel. So the game tries to cheat again by giving them really overpowered bikes, but then we just cheat back by stealing those bikes.
Yeah, because the AI isn't good at driving them.
Yeah, the AI has no idea, like it's not programmed to drive a broken bike, so they just crash and sort of have no idea what they're doing. So this is the mission that we're talking about with the meter, where you can hear it sort of like bleeping, if you listen. That's the meter going up, but there isn't actually any meter on screen because of the fact that it's like being drawn underneath. But basically we have 2 minutes to destroy as much as possible. This mission is also something that people struggle with quite a lot casually. And the simple reason is because it's kind of like misinformation, the way the mission works. They want you to cause as much destruction as possible, right? So what people do is they're like, oh, I'm going to get a load of grenades and RPGs and all this stuff, and we'll just go on an absolute tear. But the way the like chaos meter increments isn't based on damage, it's just based on like hits of things. So as you saw, I deliberately picked up a really weak weapon, which is the SMG, and I just shoot cars for 10 seconds. And that, because I'm just hitting vehicles a lot, it allows me to increment the meter really fast. But if you were to shoot an RPG and blow up the car, it would only increment once compared to like 5 or 6 times that I'm doing.
Kind of ridiculous.
Nice 360, by the way. Oh, look at that parking. I'll
Wicked.
come back later. Later, that's a lie. I won't come back later.
Just leave that there.
Yeah. So these guys can be a pain. Fortunately, they're behaving. Basically, there's like a way to sort of manipulate them, but sometimes if you're lucky, you can just do what I did, because I kind of forgot to do, you know, the right thing, and just run and grab that bike. But they can knock you off, which is very annoying, and sort of like stun lock you. And also they can shoot the tires, and as you saw, I had to like go up a staircase in order to exit and get this bike back for the mission. It's already hard enough to drive upstairs anyway because, you know, it's a staircase, but doing it with flat tires is like almost impossible. So like you almost soft lock the mission.
Especially if you get the back tire pop.
Yeah, the back tire, you just spin out constantly. It's really annoying. So thankfully that didn't happen. And that is all the biker missions completed. So we needed to do the biker missions before we were able to do the last Love Fist mission. Oh, you good, dude?
Yeah, there's like a lore reason. Like Kent Paul, who's acting as Love Fist's manager, wants a biker gang. For,
Come on, you can do. Hey.
Nice. So he wants a biker gang as security because it will look, you know, metal, I guess.
Very metal. Yeah.
And the biker, like Mitch Baker, the leader of the biker gang, wants us to prove ourselves to him.
Yeah, so you can't actually, like, even if you try to, even though the marker is there for the final Love Juice mission, which we're going to now, even if you try and start the mission, it'll say, like, you know, come back once you've dealt with the bikers or whatever it is, like, come back once you've done the biker missions. But now we've done the biker missions, so we can head back and do this before we head to film studios. So this mission is quite a notorious one. It's called Publicity Tour. And if you've ever seen the movie, it's Speed, right? That's the movie that this is based on? I think it's Speed.
I think so, yeah.
Basically, the idea is that you're in a Love Fist limo. It forces the game to rain, which makes it even harder. And if we slow down, similar to the bus, I think it is in Speed, it blows up. So we need to drive as fast as possible until they defuse the bomb. A bunch of drunk Scottish rock stars aren't exactly clued into bomb disposal strategies, so it takes them quite a few minutes. I'm surprised they're able to do it at all. You know, we could be here for hours, realistically, but somehow they're able to do it. But in the meantime, we need to drive as fast as possible around for a couple of minutes. There's a number of different strategies that we can do. What most people do if they're doing it casually is they'll drive straight down the main road towards the south, But then the problem is that eventually you run out of road. You know, it's not like the Fast and Furious highways, they're not infinite. So eventually you have to do like a big U-turn, and that is very slow because you like almost stop when you're U-turning in this big vehicle and you'll die. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drive, and I'm just going to go ahead and go around in a square, basically. So I'm going to turn left, then left again, etc. And that's the easiest way to do this, the quickest way. So yeah, there's not a lot going on. The other thing to mention is that there is actually a meter that shows you at the top right how close you are to death. I held my breath on that corner because I did it pretty slow, and I have no clue how close I am to death, because it's not there for the reasons that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, there's also another strat that you can do with replays, because this mission is very much just based on the dialogue, and if you replay the dialogue line still plays.
Yeah.
So you can just keep playing replays over and over until the dialogue gets to the correct point.
Yeah, because the game doesn't actually, the game sort of pauses while you're in the replay, so you know the meter doesn't go up or anything even if you're not moving. So you can just keep matching F1 until the mission finishes. You know. They're equally as fast as long as you time the replays correctly, but this is a little more interesting. It keeps me a bit more engaged. So yeah, that's about the rest is just driving in a circle for another minute or so. So Paulister, quick donations, go ahead.
All right. Well, I'm
hello.
filling in for Paulister real quick. So we got a $50 donation by KZ Fru saying, "Love
Thank
to
you, KZ
see
Fru.
all the gamer guys, girls, and good humans gracing my screen today. Hope to see you all again soon. Have a great week and have a lot of fun." All right.
Thank you very much. I'd just like to say as well, KZ Fru recently decided to hang up his boots. He's done many runs here for GDQ, ESA, GTA Marathon, you name it. He has been an incredible help to the community. He's been around here for the longest time. So I'd like to give a personal thank you to KZ Fru for everything that he's done for the community. And I'd say a round of applause for him again. We love KZ Fru. Woo! It's a shame he couldn't be here today. Otherwise, I would have loved to have him with us. But yeah, absolutely fantastic member of our community. So yeah, this is one of the rare, unskippable sort of cinematic cutscenes. So if you've got another donation, go ahead.
I'm back. Hello.
Hello, Paul.
All right, so we have $50 from our very own Viper saying, "Good luck, Ben. Everyone is behind you." Literally, like we can see you. XD.
Oh, hi guys, how's it going?
Shoutouts to ESA for putting on a great event, and Paul, if you could say it in your best British accent, I'll try Viper's accent specifically. "Oh my God, they've got a helicopter."
Oh, bloody hell.
Thank you for the donation. I get a thumbs up from Viper back there. That means it was good.
That was good stuff, Paul. Good job.
Back to you, EnglishBen.
Thank you very much. All right, yeah. So film studio missions, I would say, are probably the worst in terms of like activity. Like the first one is fine, but the second and third one especially, they're quite long and quite tedious. So I'll do my best to keep you entertained. But at this particular time, because there isn't too much.
Oh well, good start to keeping everyone entertained.
Don't clap for that. Come on. What's going on? But yeah, so if anyone in the audience behind us or anyone watching at home, if you want to go for a stretch now, or you want to, go and get a drink, head to the toilet, you're more than welcome to. I would appreciate if you came back, because if you all just left, I'd be very upset. Yeah, so the wrong mission, almost went the wrong way. But yeah, so if you want to take a break and just chill for a bit, you're welcome to. What do you mean, where am I going?
Where
Oh, yeah, this is the wrong way. No, guys, don't go. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. This is the correct way.
Yeah.
God, everyone's just leaving. Damn, was this something I said? Like, come on. Yeah, no, you're more than welcome to take a break. We've got like 10 minutes or so of missions. And yeah, as I say, there's not a lot going on. This particular cutscene here, for some reason, you saw me bail off the bike. It like resets the bike in a really particular place. So you can just throw the bike off, and as you see, it's still in the corner there.
Sure.
This is one of the rare places where aim actually matters. So hopefully I don't whiff this shot. But as you've seen in this run so far, my aim is pretty pathetic. So let's see. Nice, hit it. Nice and easy.
Come on, let's go.
I just need to not die to these guys, because after you pick up candy, their aggro just stops.
Yeah, they're very upset with you to the point where like shooting you point blank, and the second you speak to Candy, she you're all good. Maybe it's because like they don't want to shoot her, so they just don't shoot you by
Maybe.
default.
That makes sense.
But yeah, so the idea of the film studios is that we are shooting adult movies, and we need to get some talent. So we're getting Candy Sucks, who is like a local film star, and we're also getting Mercedes, who is actually the daughter of Colonel Cortez, who we were doing missions for before. And there's actually sort of like a running gag throughout these missions.
Where are you going?
Come on, Mercedes. Where am I going?
Tommy, when
Same
are we
place
going to
you
spend
should be
some time
going.
alone
Let's go.
together?
Okay, yeah. Want to babysit them to make sure they don't get hit by any cars or anything as they go across the road, because obviously that'll be instant failure and that's not very good. We're trying to go as fast as possible. We're just going to take them back. But yeah, there's sort of like a running gag during the story of Vice City where Mercedes is portrayed as like quite a sexual person, and she wants to partake in, you know, adult movies and things like that. But then towards the end, Colonel Cortez rings you and is like, "Oh, I can't believe what Mercedes is doing. Like, I've heard all about it." And then is like, "Please, Tommy, tell me it's not true." And Tommy's like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "All these stories I hear. Is she really gonna become a lawyer?" And it's like, you know, the whole thing is like she's doing this, you know, the Colonel sees it as like not a very good thing, but in reality, he just doesn't want her to become a lawyer because he's, you know, a coke dealer basically. Yeah,
Hey,
so
Tommy, you coming in for a warm-up?
I don't want to come in for a warm-up. I have missions to do, so we've got plenty of things to do. So the next mission is where we use our flying skills. We're going to use a skimmer, and we're going to be throwing flyers all around the city. So we're like promoting the film studios. So as you can imagine, the easiest way to do advertising, instead of like hiring someone to like go and post leaflets through people's doors, is you just hire a plane and you set the stack of flyers to come out of the rear of the plane, and you just launch them all over the ocean, the rooftops, everything. You know, so they're wet through, nobody can read them, and apparently that is the way that you're supposed to advertise your...
I don't think it's like even hired the plane. I think it's like an old movie prop.
Oh, yes. This thing might not even work for all we know. Yeah, it's not great. So yeah, so this is just simple as flying through the checkpoints. So Paul, if you got anything, you know, charity-based that you want to read, go ahead.
I can give a quick update on some of our incentives here.
Fantastic.
Namely, once again, the Hades bonus run of Beat Charon. I like that you all heard my wishes to get that met. It is now at $1,060 out of 2,000, so about 940 to go. And quite frankly, getting to 13,000 could very well push us to meet that incentive. So keep those donations coming. I also have another incentive I can talk about if we have a moment.
Yeah, of course, go ahead.
Yeah, and once again, the Through the Fire and Flames incentive. Let me give a quick refresh to that. That has stayed at $515 out of 1,000. So if you want to hear Through the Fire and the Flames on Gitadora, then by all means get those donations in. So yeah, back to you, Eben.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very hyped for a lot of the Rhythm Showcase stuff, especially the Clone Hero stuff later on. I'm a big fan of that. I did play some of the, is it Gitadora? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Basically like the Japanese Guitar Hero. And it's way harder than like regular Guitar Hero. The one thing that, you know, very much upset me was I play left-handed because, you know, I like to be different, I guess. not because I was born that way, I just chose to. And the actual straps were like bolted on right-handed. So it's like they forced me to play right-handed instead, which was very disappointing. But besides from that, it was great fun. But it's my fault for being left-handed if you think about it. Like, you know, I can't really expect people to move around things for me. So I should probably consider, like, you know, getting some kind of like therapy to like correct my left-handedness or something. Should be a good strategy. So yeah, just a couple more checkpoints to pick up. Just one round here, which can be a little scary. I'm taking a sort of safe route here, just to grab it. Because if you... this thing is very bad at taking off again, especially like in between buildings. It was already a struggle to sort of get it off the ground when we were doing it on the sea, where you have plenty of time, you know, and plenty of space. So doing it on a road is like almost impossible with the traffic and stuff. So if you crash, it's over. Like, you might as well just restart the mission.
Yeah, it's...
So the next mission is Martha's mugshot, and essentially we're going to go ahead and tail Martha's limo. What we can do is we have a helicopter nearby. We can't go straight to the destination just yet because if we get too far away, then we actually fail. But what we can do in the meantime is we can swap this quite slow helicopter for a slightly faster one. You saw me use it earlier. It was the VCN News helicopter. Conveniently, just before we get too far away, we can fly up to the building where the VCN News helicopter is and we can grab it. So we can use it for this segment. Because even though this segment where we're... Oh, hello. Don't worry, that doesn't have collision, I think. But I avoided it just in case.
Famous last words.
Yeah, exactly. I avoided it just in case, but I'm pretty sure I was fine. But yeah, so this helicopter is faster. It doesn't help us for this segment because, as I say, we're just following the limousine, waiting for her to get to her destination. But on the flight back, we're actually going to have a 5-star wanted level, which is very scary. So the quicker we get back, the better, basically. You're intended to follow the limo all the way to a hotel, and then go in the side entrance of the hotel, take some pictures, and then drive back with the 5-star wanted level. And there's also like a bunch of guards. Oh god. Let me try that one again. There's a bunch of guards guarding both the film studio, which is where we're heading, once we're going back, and also the hotel where we take it. Like once we go back down the stairs, there's a bunch of guys. So it's very scary, but thankfully, with this strategy that we're going to do, we can just sort of fly over them, which is very convenient. I picked up the armor there, just because, as I say, we're sort of on a timer, there's not a whole lot to do. So we can heal up and whatnot in the way, as long as we don't get too far away. But yeah, any more charity stuff? Paul, go ahead, you've got some time.
Sure thing. All right, let's talk a little bit about Save the Children and what happens when you donate. So when you donate to Save the Children, 89, let's pronounce that correctly, % of every dollar goes straight to their mission, changing the lives of millions of children around the world. Save the Children works to make sustainable and long-lasting impact on children's lives. When you donate, our promise is that it'll go towards making the world a better place for children. I have a few donations here if you want to go through them.
You're more than welcome to.
All right, fantastic. We have $26.34 from Dolph, and in brackets, Gamer, saying,
Nice.
Dude, I love Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I used to play it competitive back in the days. Love this speedrun. Good luck.
Thank you, gamer.
All right, back to you.
Thank you very much. So yeah, the strategy of this mission to sort of avoid and fly back, sort of avoid all the conflict, is just to park ourselves on the roof, as you saw there. So you can still take the pictures because you're like in the zone and you have a nice view. But it means that we can just, as soon as we take the pictures, we can get in the helicopter and fly all the way back, fly over all the guys that are trying to attack us, and don't have to deal with the police. This is very nice. So yeah, you don't have to take any decent pictures as long as they're in view. So we just take 3 awful pictures. Like, that's my kind of photography skills right there. Like, there's nobody in the frame, just chilling. But as long as I say, they're on screen, it's all good. And then we can just fly right on back. So yeah, this is where we'd have like the SWAT, the FBI, and everything all over us. You might see them like driving around below us. They can even spawn like on the golf course, which is always hilarious. Because, they can't really get out of that because it's sort of like a closed-off area. Hopefully, they don't shoot. So these guys can shoot me when I'm driving around. Thankfully, they didn't shoot me because I want to try and keep this helicopter if possible. It's not a big deal. We do get another one later on, but it is slightly faster if I can keep that helicopter for now. Just showing there. And we'll sort of explain that later. So this is where we're going to grab a second helicopter. And the reason for that is because this mission is a sort of simple, like, collect the checkpoints. But the sort of bonus is that it's doing jumps from rooftop to rooftop, right? And obviously, if you fall off one of the rooftops, you have to go all the way back to the start. There are some checkpoints in between, but there's only 2 or 3, I think, throughout the whole course.
Yeah.
And it's very annoying. But what we can actually do is, as long as you touch the marker with something, then you're all good. So you don't actually need to use the bike. So we're going to go into and trigger like the first section, which is where we go into the elevator here. And then as soon as we do that, we're just going to go and get another VCN helicopter. I'll let this cutscene play out. It's very Rockstar humor from 2002. Nice. Reminder that a fully grown man who pays taxes and probably has children made that. And was paid to do it. Incredible. Incredible, Rockstar. Okay. So yeah, so this is a segment where we can sort of do whatever. So the VCN helicopter is north, so it makes sense to trigger this one just with the bike. And then instead of heading west onto the next jump, we're going to head east. And we're just going to throw ourselves all the way off the building. Full damage is like non-existent in this game, especially when you bail out of bikes like that. And then we're going to head back up, grab the VCN helicopter, and skedoodle on and just fly through the markers. Because as long as you sort of in like a certain proximity of them, they trigger no matter what vehicle you're in. So this is, say, just flying through the checkpoints one last time, one last boring mission before we're done with the film studios. So, Paul, you got anything else? Want to update us on Hades or anything like that? Go ahead.
Well, there's no updates on Hades. There is an update on the Through the Fire and Flames incentive.
Nice.
We had $50 from Kinsey Kanzi saying, just wanted to give a quick shout out to another absolute pillar of the community, a creator of many tutorials, one EnglishBen. You're doing great, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kinsey Kenzie. And I can probably mention some prizes that we have on offer.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well,
I'm excited.
For as little as $15 and for as much as $100 over the course of this week, you can enter in the draws for some lovely, lovely prizes. $15 minimum is puts you in a bunch of draws for a bunch of lovely pins, like a Sonic enamel pin or a Castlevania pin set. And if we go all the way up to $100, you're entering in everything, including a PlayStation 5, one for NA residents and one for EU. And also for $75, we have 2 Steam Decks we're willing to give out. So yeah, get those donations in if you want to be in with a chance at earning a bunch of lovely prizes. So yeah, back to you, EnglishBen.
Thank you very much. Just in time for some more Rockstar humor here, as you'll see. Tommy seems to find this funny again. Another grown man. I don't personally find this very funny. I think it's very silly and immature. But yeah. So the entire point of this is that we're promoting the movie studio in the most immature way possible, and apparently that makes us a ton of money. So, but one thing we can try and do here is if you look at the minimap, I actually can move inside of the hangar, and I can actually run across, and hopefully, if I'm quick enough, don't think I got to it, but yeah. Basically, you can gain control in that cutscene because I guess whoever made that particular cutscene like didn't know that there was like a thing to take control away. So what they did was they just placed you inside of the hangar and hoped nobody would notice. So but what you can actually do is just run out of the hangar, and the intention there was a sort of minor optimization where you can get into the helicopter that I'd left previously at the film studios to sort of avoid having to walk back and get into this one. It's only 3 or 4 seconds faster because obviously we have the one from the previous mission that we can just grab anyway. It's really not a big deal. As long as we have some kind of police helicopter for this mission, then we're all good. So I'm going to park again, similar to the Rub-Out Duke, which is chill here. If we park in certain places, the heli will despawn. So it's very important that we don't despawn now. It's quite useful. Nice clipping, by the way. Very nice.
They made this game like 8 months. So.
Yeah, it was basically like supposed to be like GTA 3 DLC, so we can't really blame them.
The heli's gone.
Heli's gone? God damn. That's fine. You don't technically need it, it's just a little bit faster. Yeah, so the intention there was to sort of keep the helicopter so we can fly to the next place, but it's not too far away, we can drive. But the important thing is that we got 2 stars. And the reason for that is because in this segment, you need to get the police to come after you, as you can see here. So the easiest way to sort of do it is to just kill a bunch of the Facility guys outside. They don't really fight back because they're our gang, and we really shouldn't be killing them, but we are. Because, in the name of speed. And if you have 2 stars, and you enter the garage that we're going to go into, it spawns 2 cops. Hello, sir. So I said, this drive, I hate going over this thing here. But yeah, so what we can do is we can head in with 2 stars. The 2 stars don't fade by themselves, so we can have them for as long as we like. We can head into the garage. Almost got run over there. Wouldn't have been too good. And then you see 2 cops will spawn on my left and my right, and they'll walk in.
And the door, of course.
Yeah, of course, these guys blocked the door, which means I can't trigger the cutscene. Fortunately, Tommy is completely superhuman and could just push that car out the way with his thick old thighs. But yeah, so the 2-star wanted level causes them 2 guys to spawn, and in order to trigger this, we need to have me, Lance in the garage, and 2 more cops, so we can steal their uniforms. Then what I can do is I can just abandon Lance really quick, and we can just head on over to where another helicopter is. It's actually this way. I haven't done this in a while. Yeah, so there's actually another helicopter here. It's slightly slower, but it's not a big deal, because we don't need it for too much after this mission.
Yeah. If you had to use this helicopter for a lot longer, it'd be a lot slower because the heli is kind of slow.
Yeah, it's very slow, but we only use it for this flight there and back, and then we fly over to Umberto, which is like the start of the gang missions, so it's not a big deal at all. So as you saw, we completely abandoned Lance, and it's actually telling us to go back and get him. For some strange reason, this is like one of the rare times that you can just progress the mission without having Lance with you, even though he's supposed to be with you. So we need to plant a bomb inside of a cafe in this mall. And as you see, as we go in, like the marker is just there anyway, so we can just trigger it. And then as soon as we walk out, he just teleports with us. So don't need to take Lance with us. So it's a little faster to not have to wait for him. And also it's a lot safer because he can get himself killed in many different ways. You know how Lance can be. Where is he? Lance? He's teleported down there, I think. Oh no, he's with me. Okay, good.
How does he keep spawning?
I don't know. The important thing is that we need Lance with us, because otherwise if he dies or we lose him and whatnot and he gets into trouble, then that's really bad and the mission will fail. So we need to babysit him as much as possible. Sorry, what were you going to say, MH?
Yeah, so if you bring Lance with you into the mall, he actually says a couple of voice lines. He's like, "Hey there, officer, nice badge, nice badge." And then you can't actually trigger the bomb ringing in the cafe until he's, you know, all that stuff's done. He's like, there's also some voice lines that Tommy says in response. And, yeah, but if you don't have Lance with you, you know, you can't talk. So
yeah. I forgot all about that. Yeah, it's actually 3 different reasons why it's more convenient to do so. Yeah, so we have 5 stars. All we're going to do is go back to the mansion, change our clothes, and apparently the SWAT and FBI and everyone have completely forgotten about us. Classic GTA logic.
Yeah.
And so we're going to go fly over with this slightly slower helicopter, and we're going to go and make a replay over the ice cream factory, so we can buy it later on, and then we're going to head and go to Umberto. So Umberto's missions, we do most of them right at the end, but we have to do this particular one now because it's the most convenient time. But sadly, this is another very boring mission. It's just collecting checkpoints on a boat to prove that you're good enough to Umberto, basically. So Paul, if you've got anything to read, you are more than welcome to do so. Keep us entertained while I cannot.
Sure thing. Okay, we have $50 from Bitbo saying, "I wonder what the game has prepared for today's rendition of Gunrunner." Cheers to the GTA speedrunning community. All right, yeah, and that's the one donation here, yes.
Thank you very much, Pitfall. Yeah, Gunrunner is a mission that we'll also be doing later on. It can be a huge pain in the butt. There's a number of things that can go wrong. One of them is that, so the idea of the mission is that you can, you're supposed to get a lot of crates off the back of a bunch of Patriots, like big army vehicles. And for some reason, if you knock the first one off and you are having a bad day, you know you've got some bad juju or something, bad crystal ball luck, then they'll just teleport to 000 coordinates, which is underneath the golf course in the ocean out of bounds. So there's no way that you can possibly get to them, and you just have to either die or restart the mission somehow, which is very annoying. I'm gonna say this, even though it might potentially be jinxing this. I am the only person who has run this category for a somewhat lengthy amount of time who's never had that happen to me. So if it happens to me at ESA, so be it. I'm more than happy to show it off and eat my words, but let's hope it doesn't happen because it's quite a few minutes of time loss if I have to death warp, buy the guns back, etc. Can be very annoying. Hello, sir. Excuse me.
Call yourself a man?
Yeah, the boat traffic can be a little annoying. This is the sort of backwards route that we took all the way with supply and demand, the way that you're intended to go. As you can see, there are quite a lot of tricky corners that you have to slalom your way through. And the hardest part about driving boats is that you can only turn if you're also accelerating. So like, it's a real pain sometimes if you get stuck in a corner, because all you can do is like accelerate into the wall and try and turn yourself out. And as you can see, also when you hit the ramps, sometimes you can like hit it and then get like pushed to the side, and you can do like flips, you can get spun out like I just did there. There's all sorts of weird things that can happen.
Yeah, it's always fun when you do a jump, just flip.
Exactly, yeah. And if you flip and Rico like puts his head under the water, he dies and the mission fails. So it's not very good, not very not very exciting.
And the ramps are definitely the hardest part about this mission. You have to like really like learn how to like take the ramps like straight on and smoothly and stuff.
Yeah, what I do is I sort of like, as I'm about to hit it, I like let go of W to stop accelerating, and then I hold it again once I've hit the ramp. It seems to help, like slowing down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be the best way to do it. Because if you just floor it, you'll just go flying off these things. It is also possible, I didn't explain it until it potentially happened, but the actual collision for the ramps that you saw going the first way before we turned around and are heading back, the collision can actually still be there for the first set of ramps when you're heading back. So it looks like you're just colliding with like random pieces of invisible geometry, and you can actually blow up the boat and die as well, which is very annoying. I've only had that happen to me once, and I was so confused as like how I was hitting the water and blowing up. It was so strange.
Yeah, there's a lot of instances in this game where just like random things still have collision.
Yeah. Or like the game not properly like, you know, cleaning up things that should be long gone. But yeah, it's an old game. We've got to cut it some slack. So yeah, it's the final one, and then we're going to do another buy warp to the ice cream factory, because we're sort of in the middle of nowhere here near the golf course, so we want to be in a more central location. So we do actually need to complete the Cherry Poppers ice cream thing. We're going to do that later on, because it is technically a mission. The way we define all missions in this category is everything that changes the save file name. So, you know, very, very important to keep that in mind, because when you complete distribution, it does actually change the save file name itself. So, yeah. I always head north this way, even in practice. The police station is south, but I just start running north out of instinct, and I've done it so many times that I just do it out of instinct now. It's so strange. So that's the call for Antipole, who is like the sort of second half of the gang missions. So I'm going to set up on mission 0 Vigilante again in order to sort of begin the chain of chaining phone calls through. And coming up is a really painful part. It's an instapass that is like luck-based. I will make a save beforehand, but hopefully it'll go okay first try. MH, do you want to start talking about Bombs Away Instapass and whatnot that we're going to do, and the sort of friendly rivalry chain and everything that we're coming up to?
Okie dokie. So, the one-sentence version is he's going to instapass a mission, and then he's going to use like the remnants of that instapass to instapass another mission. So basically, he's going to do Juju Scramble right now, which is the first want-to-play mission. You're going to do that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna do that. Use Vigilante probably to set up a this stuff. You instapass the next mission after this, Bombs Away, with
Vigilante.
What is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
You instapass with the Vigilante, and then you can use the. Wait, no. Okay. So you're on mission 0.
About this.
Yeah, I'm trying to get this in order here. So you start friendly rivalry, and well, you dupe it, right?
So you use the second instance of Bombs Away. So we're gonna dupe Bombs Away.
Oh.
Jesus. Okay. I don't.
Right.
Should have put my seatbelt on, I guess. What is Tommy? What are you doing? I mean, yeah, sure. Let's use this.
It's a police vehicle. So.
Police vehicle. It works. Yeah. Sorry to cut you off.
So on mission 0, Bombs Away, which is the next mission here, in the Haitian chain, and then you use that to instapass friendly rivalry, which is the taxi mission, and then use Vigilante, which is he has a cop car here, and then you can immediately start a setup to instapass Bombs Away. Yeah. So yeah, okay. My explanation was super bad, but please excuse me.
It's very tricky to explain because it's a sort of chain of instapasses in a row. I'll run it through step by step as we go. So we've set up a call. We start Bombs Away once. and then the phone call runs out, and then we start bombs away again. It's very important that we do it inside the cutscene. I'm going to skip the cutscene. I'm going to jump, and I'm going to aim my sniper rifle. Again, I'm going to lean in. Please don't laugh at me. It's not funny, guys. Come on. I'm going to pick a very specific pixel. It's a new reference, so hopefully it works out. Nice. So we failed the mission. We blew up the van through the wall, which is very nice. And then the police car also despawned. I kind of need that. Okay.
It's a mission vehicle.
Okay, I guess I need to just go ahead and... hey, police officer. I also want to get rid of this. I'm going to get another one. There. That's fine. I just need a police vehicle of some kind, okay? Yeah. So now we're going to teleport to the rivalry place, the Kaufman Cup's place. Start friendly rivalry, which insta-passes it, okay? So now I'm going to wait a second just for like everything, the game to catch up with everything. I'm going to make a save just to be absolutely safe. And then...
Cop car's gone.
God damn. That one cop like rear-ended me has really made this difficult. Yeah. Okay, let's find another police officer to kill.
Why friendly rivalry insta-pass like that is because after duping bombs away and failing it, one instance it was still running. It was just, you know, stuck. And if you start friendly rivalry during bombs away, it just insta-passes.
Yeah, exactly. So now I need a police vehicle again, and I'm going to use it to set up on Mission 0 Vigilante and then insta-pass bombs away. If a police car is going to come to me at any point. Like, you'd think with the amount of crime I'm committing that the police would be here in seconds, but nope.
They're underfunded, apparently.
Exactly. Right, so now I'm going to start on Mission 0 Vigilante. I might as well drive, actually. I don't know why I'm walking. And now this is where it gets tricky. So this is sort of a coin flip. I'm going to do it, and then I'll sort of explain it as we go. So I'm going to wait. I have a wanted level, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw a grenade at the ground. Hopefully it doesn't clip through the ground. Start the mission. Skip the cutscene. Mash. Thank God. Nice. Okay, that worked. Okay, perfect. So it's very tricky to explain that as I'm doing it, but basically what you need to know is that the grenade like knocks Tommy out of the way, because otherwise, let me just concentrate here for a second. Otherwise, the next mission, which is the third anti-Pole mission, will start as soon as we pass bombs away, and that will instantly crash the game.
Because bombs away is still running.
Bombs away is still running, exactly. So the only way to do that is to grenade yourself out of the marker, and then when you spawn back in, you have a matter of frames to mash the jump key and jump out of the marker. The problem with that is that, one, the grenade can randomly fall through the floor, which is obviously unfortunate. There's not a lot I can do about it. And two, the problem is that the way the mission markers and the cycles and everything in this game work is that even if you mash frame perfectly, there is a chance... I'm just going to get rid of the shotgun because I don't need it, and it's going to mess up my muscle memory otherwise. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, so... essentially, the problem is that the mission can start even if you mash frame perfectly and there isn't enough time to do anything, which is, yeah, very annoying. So this mission is quite simple. We just provide Overwatch for some Haitians. Gonna make sure I don't fail. There we go. I killed all but one, but that's fine. As long as one survived, it's all good. Okay. And that's one of the difficult parts over, so thank goodness for that. That seemed to go fairly well. Aside from, you know, needing like 8 police cars. Fairly well. Good enough. Okay. So now I'm going to head just through this little alleyway here and sort of squeeze through. Activate Vigilante, so I'm on a mission, because otherwise I'll pick up this rampage, which I don't want to do. Make a replay over it, and we'll cancel Vigilante. Then I'm going to buy the Printworks. And then I'm going to use the rampage that I just got to set up the rampage while we're starting spilling the beans. And this is going to be used for another set of insta-passes. Hoxie, you're welcome to go for this one, because this one's a bit more simpler, so I'm giving you the easy job.
Alright, thank you. Alright, so, Ben's going to use this rampage to... like, he's going to do spilling the beans through, like, do the entire mission, and then hit the courier while the rampage is running. The rampage is going to run out during the courier, and he's going
the phone call, using the phone call for it.
Oh, yeah, phone call. So, rampage is going to run out during this mission. He's going to hold the phone call, then going to start hit the courier, answer the phone call while starting the mission so we can cancel it, and then go start distribution, which will insta-pass it. And do you instapass it twice or 3 times?
I do it 3 times in
3
this route.
times, yeah,
It's
okay.
consistent.
Yeah,
way.
that's the safe way.
Yeah.
So he's gonna instapass it 3 times to increment the asset counter, which allows him to start the last mission, or start Cap the Collector and the last mission earlier than normally, which is also used later. And he also instapass Capmageddon with the courier, if I'm not correctly.
Exactly, yeah. So Hit the Courier on the Japanese version is a very interesting mission because you can instapass 2 different missions with it, and all you have to do is start the mission and then start the other mission that you want to instapass. So, as I said before when we were talking about the Cherry Poppers Ice Cream Factory, we need to complete the ice cream asset anyway. So the first one that we need to do is we need to do the instapass of Cherry Poppers. So that gives us the mission complete, which is good because that's what we need for the category. It also gives us an extra asset. And the way the game is like programmed is the game isn't smart enough to know which assets I've done. All it does is it has a counter, and whenever you complete an asset, I don't know why I went for the second armor there, got an extra safe apparently. But yeah, it just has an incremented counter. So when you complete the instapass, it just adds your asset counter and then adds 1 on top of it, whatever it is. So that means that we can do that glitch over and over again to gain a ton of assets and unlock the final missions a lot earlier than intended without completing the rest of the assets. The simple reason for that is just purely because it's faster to do these particular missions now.
That was the only shred that was found about the Josh.
Yeah, Josh Jump. Shout out to Josh Miss. Yeah. So yeah, as Hoxie said, I need to make sure that I have my phone ringing at this point, and the easiest way to do that is to just bribe away these 2 stars. So these bribes here, they take away one of your wanted stars. So there's one here, and there's one conveniently just around the corner as well before we teleport back and finish the mission. So yeah, going back to what we were talking about earlier with the instapasses, there's also the final taxi mission, which can also be passed, and you can gain an asset purely just by starting Hit the Courier 1 last time, and then doing Capmageddon, which is the final taxi mission. So we can pass Cherry Poppers, we can gain all the assets that we need, and we can complete the taxi missions and gain that asset as well, all just by doing this trick over and over again. So it's very convenient. And the way it works is, as I say, we just start Hit the Courier on mission 0, start the Cherry Poppers Ice Cream, and then we just walk back and we just do this 3 times. It's very simple.
You just need to be fairly fast because you need to do this before the phone call comes in again. And the phone calls are on a 20-second cooldown.
Yeah, so you have 20 seconds to do this. But even if you do mess it up and you like fall off the bike, there's 2 different backups to like basically make sure that you can never fail it. You just lose a little bit of time. And I suppose this is the perfect time for Paul to read anything else that he has, because as soon as we finish this sort of segment, we're going to get into the most difficult segment where he will not have any seconds, because we will have to explain a lot of things and I'm going to need to concentrate. So Paul, go ahead while we're doing this bit that we've already explained.
Fantastic. I'll try and knock out as much as I have over here.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, we have $100 from Llama saying, save the children. We then have $200 from Pastor Richard's Salvation Statue. $300 in one fell swoop. Very nice. We have $25 from Anonymous saying, donating for one of my favorite speed games to watch. Vice City is broken in all the best ways. Thanks for the entertainment once again. I have 3 more donations here if you want to go through them.
Yeah, go ahead. All that I'm going to say really quick is I just make a replay over the Tech 9 Rampage that I'll be using in a second, and we're off to go and instapass the final taxi mission. So go ahead.
All right, we have $50 from Friesen85 saying, I was a child once. Good times. So here's to hopefully good times for every child. Well said. We have $50 from Soundcheck saying, and this one is going to the Beat Caron incentive, and it's in reference to that, saying, I have played too much Hades, and I would be saddened to not see this bonus round, to see the lovely shopkeeper. Lots of love from Scotland. We also have $75, finally, from Jacobot, saying, greetings from Germany. Keep up the good work, love the runs, and this event. So yeah, thank you all for your incredible donations. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so this is where it gets kind of serious. So if everything else was sort of complicated beforehand, I really do apologize, because it's only going to get worse from here.
Yeah, this is the most complicated set of insta passes.
Yeah, definitely. So this is what we call the setup for the double insta-pass. It's a very long setup. It's around 5 or 6 minutes long. And the idea is that there is 2 missions that we're looking for. The job, which is the final Malibu mission, which is very long. And also, what is the other one? Keep your friends close, which is the final story mission of the game. Those missions are both very long, and what we're going to do is we're going to use them both to insta-pass each other. Which sounds very easy, but the problem is that the only way you can insta-pass the job with the setup is you have to start the job remotely from the Malibu Club while in the fade just after you've killed Sunny before the final cutscene starts rolling. So if you remember the fastest boat, we glitched this car in traffic so it didn't despawn. We're going to use that right now. It's a very convenient place for us. Yeah, MH, do you want to start talking about double insta-pass? I'm very sorry I'm giving you all the hard stuff, but it's I'm just sort of going in circles. I do apologize.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
That's exactly right. Let's go.
Yeah, so he glitched this car like an hour and a half ago, and yeah, it's still there, as it should be. He didn't save or load. If you save and load, then any cars you get stuck, which we call glitching, they would just be gone. So he still has this. He's going to rig it with a bomb. That's going to be used on Keep Your Friends Close. And you're going to go and complete Cap the Collector with this car, yeah?
Hit the courier first and then Cap the Collector, yeah.
Right, yeah. So this car's going to be sticking around. You might not be using it for Cap the Collector. I imagine you'll get a better car like the Cheetah for that.
Yeah, I'll park it nearby.
Yeah, but this car's still going to be available. Yeah, we can go more into detail like as Keep Your Friends Close goes along, because explaining all of it now would just be like almost no sense.
Right.
Kill him. Get the plate.
She like died twice or something. It's a very strange thing. Yeah. Go ahead, MH. Sorry, just game being weird.
All right. Yeah, I was just saying like, yeah, this car is just going to be like on hold until Keep Your Friends Close, and then we'll be concerned about why you rigged it with a bomb and why it needs to be an English car.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is all very pre-planned. This is not just random stuff. It's not like he just glitched his Phoenix because he likes Phoenix.
Yeah, I actually hate the Phoenix. It's
That's
horrible.
pretty bad, to
Yeah.
be honest.
It's like the worst sports car by far. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it in this very particular place. And we're going to grab the police cheetah and walk back and finish the mission really quick. There is a snipe that we can do for the next mission, which you can basically do another wall bang. It only saves around 10 seconds or so. But since it's raining and inventory management is super important for something that I'll talk about in a second, I'm not going to bother with it because I don't want to goof it, because if I mess up my inventory management now, it's very bad. So if I switch to the detonator at any point between now and the end of double insta-pass, I can't switch away from it for some reason. Like, you're just locked into using it.
Like, you need to go to a shop and buy another weapon to switch away from.
Exactly, yeah. Or end a rampage. That's the only way to, like, reset away from the detonator. So that, as you can imagine, is, like, a huge problem, because if we aren't able to switch weapons, then we can't use any of our guns to complete these missions that we need to. So I'm just going to play it nice and safe. I'm going to sit inside of a car where I can't switch weapons and misclick or anything, and we're going to keep on going. So Cap the Collectors is sort of like a median mission that we're doing in the meantime of the setup, just because we need to complete it to unlock the next ones. So this is quite simple. Just drive by 3 sets of dudes. Nothing particularly interesting to it. So, as we were saying earlier, the way you insta-pass the job is by starting it after killing Sunny and during the fade. So you might think to yourself, like, how on earth are you going to do that when you're across the map, you know, at the Malibu? Like, how are you going to kill Sunny? Well, that is what the bomb in the car is for. Hello, officer. Please don't bother me right now. I'm trying to talk to the fantastic audience. So, yeah, so that's what the remote car bomb is for, is we can do damage remotely, so we can blow up Sunny. But also, he doesn't die to one explosion because he's, like, you know, the final boss of the game, right? So he can take a bit of a beating. Speaking of taking a beating, these guys just...
Where are they?
Where are these guys? How? What? Okay, it doesn't matter. We're heading back this way anyway, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
After all that, they just... Yeah, okay, classic. This is what rain does to the AI. It's not good. Okay, so we're going to start a rampage. I didn't make the replay, never mind. I need to go back and make the replay. Hold on. Hold that thought 1 second. 1 second. But yeah, so as I was saying, the remote bomb is very important. But what is even more important is that we need to shoot Sonny with exactly 4 shots from the Python revolver. And the reason for that is because the 4 shots from the Python plus the car bomb explosion is just enough damage to kill him with the bomb remotely. The problem is that obviously if I shoot him 4 times, all good. If I shoot him 5 times, he dies, and that's, GG. If I shoot him 3 times, he won't die to the explosion, and that's also GG. And as you can see, this setup is so long that it's a really huge time loss if I goof this, or if anything goes wrong. So we're going to go ahead, and we're going to go and start Keep Your Friends Close now, which is the final mission of the game. It's very easy when you're doing it casually, because basically the way the mission works is you start the mission, 60 seconds from the start is when Lance spawns. Lance betrays us, if you remember, in the story. And we kill Lance, and then 60 seconds after that, then Sonny spawns and we kill him, okay? So we're going to be making good use of those 2-minute time slots to do everything that we need to do in the meantime. So, I'm going to start the mission, take the phone call first for the mission.
Come down here right away.
Going to start the mission here. It's very important that we only skip these cutscenes once. If you mash, you get stuck in the cutscene, and we're on a time limit. I'm going to make a save replay here. There's actually a save marker at the mansion right in front of us. And then the idea is that you're supposed to sort of Scarface, like, defend your territory here. But it's impossible for me to fail, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to drive away. They can have the mansion. I don't care. I don't need it.
Like, the only fail condition here is them taking all your money.
Yeah, but we have so much, because we've used that glitch to buy all the properties, that money is not a problem anymore. We have more than enough time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do some other setup stuff in the meantime while we wait for land to spawn. So this Phoenix, that as MH said, this has sort of been chilling on the back burner. We're going to go ahead and grab this, and we're going to bring it with us. As you can see, it's glitched, so it's there the whole time. It's rigged with a bomb, so we can blow it up whenever we want to. Hopefully, if I'm lucky, because I have quite a bit of time to spare, I can glitch a car here that's half decent. The taxi isn't any better, but sometimes if you drive... Excuse me, that was very rude. Seems like the guy from VIP or something. But yeah, I have a couple of tires to get it. It's not a big deal if I don't. But if I get lucky enough, I can get a sports car here, which will allow me to... I can use it for like the second to last mission in the game. I can glitch it and set it up. But it doesn't seem to be happening.
That was a Banshee, I think.
Yeah, but it would take me way too long to try
yeah,
at that point, so it's all good. We'll just wait for the rampage to run out. 1 second. I do apologize for my cough. It's been speaking a lot, I think. So we're going to save warp in with the glitch car. It's very important that we stay in the car, because if we don't, we'll start the mission again, and we'll crash the game.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, because this mission, code-wise, is so big and complicated.
Yeah.
Just crashes and stuff if you dupe it.
Yeah. So we park in a very particular place. We hold the call, which we need. We're going to go and run and kill Lance. He sort of teleports and heads up, so we're just going to go up here and kill him. But yeah, your parking of that car is very important, because if you park it too far away, you also won't kill him. That was exactly enough bullets. That was very lucky. But also if you park it too close, he'll move out of the way of it, which is obviously very bad. So I'm just going to chill here for a second until Sonny spawns. Don't think he's going to spawn yet. Oh, yes, that's fine. I have the shotgun as well, which isn't good. I knew that shotgun would mess me up.
Yeah, because the timers for both Lance and Sonny start counting from the start of the missions.
So I'm going to concentrate here for just a second, because I need to make sure I shoot him exactly 4 times with the revolver.
Get him, boys. He never understood a thing.
Okay, good. And then we're going to answer this call to make sure that they don't shoot us. And then we're going to drive, and this is the moment of truth. So the reason why I look so close, even though it seemed kind of obvious, is because sometimes you can shoot him in like the side of his clothes and it doesn't count. But I saw 4 blood splatters, which means I shot him 4 times. So the setup is all done. Hopefully, everything is in place. And now we're just going to drive to the Malibu. I'm going to detonate the car at a very specific time. I'm going to walk into the job marker. And if everything is good and I've timed this perfectly, then we'll see Tommy sat on the stairs with a blown-up car right next to him. If not, then we'll have to do it again. So...
Just not good, because that setup is super long.
Super long. So, let's see. God, I hope this works.
You basically want to time, like, the fade of the Keep Your Friends Close ending.
Yes!
The fade of this start.
Thank
yeah,
God.
there you go.
As you
you can see, gentlemen, this is going to be the easiest buck we ever made.
Oh, I'm sweating. Let's go.
And that was the second part of double surpass, the easier one.
This is the much easier one, yeah.
This ain't no simple plan.
So as you can see, we're at the end of the job. We've completed the heist, but we're also in the cutscene to start the heist mission. And then we're going to take the phone call from Phil thanking us for the heist while we're talking to Phil about the heist in the cutscene. It's all very strange.
Phil,
So yeah, we need to listen to this cutscene. We can't skip it, so we're just going to take a phone call in the meantime.
I really enjoyed working with
Aren't you forgetting somebody? Somebody who helped you to no end in this town?
And then, Hoxie, do you want to quickly run through the second part of this? It is much easier.
Yeah.
But it's still, if you mess it up, I'll still crash the game, so...
Yeah, so we're gonna take everyone to the mansions of the bank, which I guess it's on the way, but... And we're gonna get out of the cab, get the phone call, quickly get back in, and soft lock the line that Cam says when you get out of the cab. And it's very important to soft lock it, because that's the line that's where the job script gets stuck, and you use that script to insta-pass, keep your flanks close.
Yeah.
And then you just save work the mission, start the mission.
Yeah. So I'm going to do it a slightly different way. It's a slightly more optimal way. But essentially it's the same thing. All that I'm going to do instead is I'm going to save warp first, then I'm going to get out of the car immediately, and then the phone call will come in while Cam's line is playing, and that soft locks it as well. So the only difference is that I don't have to get out and wait for the phone call. It's slightly faster.
Yeah.
So I'll quickly do this. We'll save warp.
You also need to be careful driving
Very
the
quick.
match.
Get out, get out, start the mission. And we are done.
Nice.
That's the whole setup. We're all done.
You need to be careful driving near the mansion because the game can just crash.
Yeah, that's why we save warp in, because if you drive in for some reason, the game crashes. Basically,
there
this
is no
whole
way
setup.
to enter the mansion.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you save warp.
Yeah. So this whole setup is basically just like doing our best to not crash the game. So now we have a ton of instances running of a lot of different missions, and we just need to get rid of all of them. So we grenade ourselves there to fail one instance, and then we still have one more chilling. So the easiest way to get rid of it is just to simply stand over here, and I'm just going to wait for a phone call to come in. And as we talked about before, if you're on mission 1 and you die, then you'll fail any mission that you're on. So I'm going to hold the call and just drown. There is a slightly faster but much more inconsistent way to do it by duping Vigilante. But that can crash the game, and this is 100% consistent. It's only slightly slower.
Duped Vigilante is super unstable.
Yeah, it's another coin flip. Like, there is ways people have made it, like, more, you know, more, like, consistent. Like, placebos and delusions and all sorts of stuff. But that's 100%
There is a
consistent.
consistent way. Yeah, where you
Oh, is it the one where you get out
start
of the
Vigilante.
car outside?
Yeah, you start Vigilante, but you get out, so like it immediately cancels before like anything loads.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I don't know if it's frame perfect. You have like 2-3 frames leeway, but yeah, for marathons definitely want to go this way.
Not worth doing either way. Yeah, and certainly not in a marathon. So we're just going to take some calls and chill for a bit, and then going to head into the police cheetah and set up at the Cherry Poppers Ice Cream on Mission 0 Vigilante again. And that is because this mission, Loose Ends, which is the final payphone mission, is a sort of strange one. So there is a very long phone call that we need to take from Colonel Cortez in order to get like the final couple of missions. And also, conveniently, if you take a phone call, nobody will attack you. So what we can do is we can take this very long phone call while we're running through this compound of guys that want to kill us. And as you can see, none of them attack us. So we can just run through and have a nice little conversation with the Colonel. Which is perfect because, you know, everything was very complicated and horrible for a few minutes. And now we can just chill. Take a break. Whew. This game's very nice when it's chill. Nobody attacks you. No difficult strats, just running. Just two bros running about, you know.
Peaceful day in Vice City.
This is also the call where talking about Mercedes becoming a lawyer, by the way. It's all the very funny phone call that I talked over, so I am sorry. I ruined it.
Yeah, just read the Japanese subtitles.
Yeah, just learn Japanese. Yeah. So there's a couple of guys that we're going to shoot, just because if we don't, we fly away in this helicopter here, they'll just shoot us down.
Yeah, because they have pretty good guns.
Yeah, they do. They have MP5s, which will kill me very quickly. So yeah, kill those guys on the sign, kill the guys on the roof, kill the guys next to the briefcase. grab the briefcase, and then we're just going to fly to our destination. As you can see, they still shoot at us, but because we're so far away, we're fine. Whereas the guys on the roof, they will hit you a lot and do a lot of damage. So next up is the infamous Gunrunner. It's not even a difficult mission. It's just so many things can go wrong. It's so random, yeah. So let's hope that it goes somewhat okay. But there is a bit of a long flight where we have to drive all the way back up to, or fly all the way back up to Phil's place from here. So, Paul, if you've got anything to read charity-wise, you've got about 30 seconds or so.
Well, I can take this moment and give a quick update on some of our upcoming incentives. I've mentioned Hades and Gitadora already. The Beat Karon incentive, there's been a little bit of progress. We're at $1,235 out of 2,000, so just over 750 to go there. And I hope we can make it, so we can get that extra content. And the Gitadora incentive is at $590 out of 1,000, so 410 to go. So keep those donations coming. We're also close to 13,000, so I'd like to see that happen, and I think EnglishBen would like to see that too.
I would love to see that.
We all would.
All right, back to you.
Fantastic. So, as I said, Gunrunner, we're going to get some vehicles off the back of the trucks, but we also actually have to destroy the trucks at the same time. So if you just get all the guns, it'll then tell you to go back and destroy the trucks anyway. So we're going to try and do 2 birds with 1 stone. I need to make sure to not be too far away from this car. And then we're going to use this very broken shotgun that I've talked about for quite a lot of the run to just absolutely nuke these things. This is a cop. I don't really want to deal with you right now because I knocked the door off and he might bust me instantly. So.
Yeah, especially since this car takes
Yeah.
a while to get going.
I really don't want 2 stars during this mission because it's already random enough as it is, but I think it would have been a lot more trouble if I didn't kill him. So there is also a scooter squad, as you can see, that all have SMGs and they'll all catch up to me in a second. So it's very important that I drive past these guys, blow them up, and then wait until the sort of scooter squad pulls up so I can steal one of their scooters before they sort of aggro and kill me. So,
that's
got bumped a little bit. That's fine. We've got enough time. I just need to run away and make sure that I don't get killed too much. There we go. And then as soon as I blew that up, but that's fine, I don't need it. As soon as we grab the guns over there, then they'll stop aggroing towards us, so it's not a big deal. I think most of them died in the explosion anyway. Okay, nice. And this guy has very nicely donated his bike for me. Thank you. Nice. So Gunrunner went pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
No 0-0-0, so.
Considering it was a marathon run, like, this has gone pretty splendid so far. I can't really complain too much. The only big thing was, like, losing the police car a bunch of times, but a lot of that was my fault. I can't blame the game.
It was pretty entertaining. Well.
Yeah, all for the entertainment. That's exactly it. So here, we want to make sure that we answer our phone in a very specific district. So this is downtown. And as soon as we go here, we're in little Haiti again. But the reason why we want to answer the phone call in downtown, this way, is because Phil will call us, and we need Phil's call to unlock the next section. If we answer the phone inside of Little Haiti, we'll get a call from Auntie Paule, and it's just a random call telling us to stay away. So it doesn't actually progress anything. So it's very important that we take the call that actually does progress things. So this mission is very chill. It's very silly. I'm going to quickly pause and unpause the game, because it gives you like drunk control, so you have like a lot of input delay, and as you can see, the camera's like spinny and whatnot. But if you pause and unpause, you actually lose the input delay, so you can just drive normally for like 10 or 20 seconds at a time, which is very nice. You see it's come back again here.
Yeah, you can see it. You can see when it comes about, like having the camera like repositioned a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sort of like turns you like 5 or 10 degrees one way, like tilts your head. So this mission is very simple. We're just going to take Phil. We're going to... I am so sorry. I have like destroyed so many pedestrians, and I really haven't meant to. I'm really sorry.
I think that car's not fine.
It's all good. It's fine. It drove away. Don't worry about it. But yeah, so we want to take him to the hospital, but he doesn't want to go to the hospital. Too many cops and whatnot, so we need to take him to like an ex-army surgeon who owes him a favor.
And a lawnmower.
Yeah, and a lawnmower apparently. If any of you keep an eye on GTA 3 and VC here, you'll see that Phil has blown off his left arm, but when you go to play GTA 3 and you see him there a couple of years later, it's actually his right arm that's missing. because Rockstar didn't take the 2 minutes to look at their own game to see which one was the correct one.
Isn't even it correct in the cutscene?
I couldn't even tell you. I don't know. I know that they're very wrong, and that's the important thing. And they should be ashamed. Okay. I'm going to park this Patriot, because we're going to need a 4-door vehicle that's somewhat fast for this mission. So I'm going to park it just on the corner, and then we can grab it. It's much better than like relying on one on the road. Like that one is a 2-door, so...
And slow.
Yeah, and it's also slow. It's not particularly useful to us. But this mission, it has quite a lot of dialogue and cutscenes and whatnot. I'm not going to heal. I could get armor there, but 150 is enough for this mission.
Yeah.
I might heal on the next one. The sort of biggest obstacle left, there's 3 more missions to go. And the biggest one is one of the trickiest ones. It's naval engagement. But the reason why the mission is so hard is because of something that's kind of been happening all the way throughout the game. So, do you guys want to explain? MH, do you want to talk about the spike strips and the 4-star game crash that we need to avoid towards the end of the game?
Yeah, so I think this is a side effect of the cutscene dupe with bombs away. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, so because of that stuff he did with the Haitian missions, you know, about half an hour ago, yeah, there's basically if there's too much stuff, like too many objects loaded, the game's gonna crash. And spike strips that the cops deploy are one of those things. And usually this isn't a problem, but because of the cutscene duping, I don't know technically. The
We're very close to the limit is the problem.
Yeah,
like,
and spike strips are like made of multiple objects.
Yeah, like every single one of the like connections is all one object each. So
yeah,
it's very
There's
bad.
2 workarounds. Either you make it so you don't have cops deploying spike strips, so you can just like kind of avoid getting a wanted level, or make it so you can actually just skip the whole like section with cops chasing you, which I think is what you're gonna do.
Yep.
Or you can restart the game. Restarting the game is what you do in 100% most of the time. In all missions, people usually opt for the other way. But,
yeah, so the cops start deploying spike strips, which is the problematic thing and what causes the game to almost crash every single time. These guys pop both of my back tires, which is very nice. It's going to be a nice little drive back. Give us more time to explain, I suppose. But yeah, so you get 4 stars as soon as you complete like a certain section of the next mission. You have to drive back. And the problem is that as soon as you start getting 3 stars, the cop starts deploying spike strips, which is very annoying. Speaking of very annoying, these cops are going to be a real pain, I can imagine. But yeah, so the easiest way, sort of quickest way, I guess. Certainly not the easiest, it's very tricky. Thanks. Didn't really help me too much. These guys are really earning their paychecks this week.
yeah. One thing you can do is you can do a drive-by. If you shoot a police car chasing you, they're just gonna like stop.
Oh, that's very true. Yeah,
they just they just kind of like fall asleep and then they just kind of crash.
Just don't do that when they're next to you.
Yeah, because they'll get out and bust me. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're good.
We're
trooping. We're trooping. We're going. We're ice skating all the way to the bank. Let's go.
Hey, there's a box in the back of the bank.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where the box in DE comes from. Okay.
Perfect. What a drive from me. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so naval engagement, we just sort of take any car we can get. It doesn't really matter. It's not a very far drive. Awful car, but it's all
all
good.
the cars.
Yeah. So this is the mission that we're talking about. What we want to do is we basically want to avoid getting a 4-star wanted level until the absolute very end of the mission. So what we're going to do is we're going to take out a lot of guys that have very powerful weapons, so they're very scary, which is why I'm going to heal. And we're going to take them out, and then we're going to pick up 3 briefcases. So one particular dude drops 2 of them, and another guy on the jetty drops 1. So we killed a guy on the jetty already, and then as soon as we pick up those other 2 briefcases, we're going to get 4 stars. So what instead we do, hopefully if I don't mess it up, because it is kind of tricky to do, is what we do is we run up to him, which is very scary because obviously he's got a very powerful weapon. We run up to him and punch him so he falls over, because when you have a weapon in your hand, I'll show you actually on this guy. Never mind, I shot. Never mind. See, this is why it's hard. Okay, you need to be a very particular distance. So I can't even do it on a non-moving target who isn't shooting me. Never mind this guy. Good start. But yeah, so we're gonna punch him over, and while he's on the ground, we're gonna run around him and make a replay, like standing on his like standing on him while he's on the ground. And hopefully what that does is I'll make a replay that will have me running over the 2 briefcases so I can collect them remotely at the end of the mission. That's the plan anyway. How well it goes, I have no clue. So I need to kill this person because they have a shotgun and I need to go around that way. Let's kill this guy on the roof. Very important.
Yeah,
this guy in front of me is the guy that I don't want to kill. I want to kill this guy, and then grab the briefcase. And this is where we hold our breaths. Good?
Right, good start.
Make the replay, do a circle around him, save the replay, kill him, and don't pick up any of the briefcases and drive back. So as you can see, we have 2 stars, and we are only going to get 2 stars, unless I, you know, create some ruckus, but hopefully we don't. Another very annoying thing is that this car, this Landstalker, is like prone to flipping, as you can see.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Stalker.
Yeah, we call it the flip stalker because for some reason it's so top heavy that if you do like any turn too fast, you'll just flip the car. And as you can imagine, flipping the car while you've got police on you is never good. But we'll drive back and then we'll play the replay. And then we should hopefully pick up the briefcases. And then as soon as we get 4 stars and the game has the potential to crash, we'll finish the mission instantly and lose our wanted level. So all I've got to do is pick up the briefcases. So hopefully that replay was good enough. Awesome. Okay.
Nice.
Awesome.
Easy.
Whew.
Is it fine to change
Yeah,
with the
it's
cafe?
Yeah, we can just walk out. So yeah, I walked a bit far in the cutscene by mistake, but then as soon as we get to this section, we then
Oh, you're in the
finish.
interior.
That's fine. I know where I'm going. I've played this game before. I can just run in and out again, I guess. Or maybe does the mission start? Does that like get rid of interior mode? I don't know.
We'll see. Oh, it does.
Yeah, seems good. Okay, perfect. So now, final mission. We are going to grab our boy Pepe over here, because Rico died. I don't know if you guys saw, he got nuked by a grenade. Very sad. And I think we're gonna be slightly overestimate because
Yeah, I
of
don't think
the police car stuff. But honestly, I don't mind. This was quite a tight estimate, 230. But the fact that double instapass went first try, and the fact that I was able to get bombs away without crashing the game once, I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, all the hard stuff went.
Exactly, yeah. I messed up a couple of easy things, which lost me some time, but it's fine. So this is the final mission, as I said. All that we need to do is we need to go and plant some bombs inside the Haitians' factory. So this is the final Cuban gang mission. So all that we need to do is pull it with our bros who are going to help us plant the bombs.
Whoa, man, you drive like a crazy bitch.
That's not very nice. Going to trigger it, hopefully. There we go. And then we're going to go into the compound, and they sort of go in formation and we're at the back. If you like abuse the hydraulics like I was doing then, you can sort of like drive over them. It's not the most consistent thing ever, but hopefully we can get like ahead of the curve or a little bit and pull in.
Hopefully don't flip because
Yeah, I don't think I've ever flipped. That would be pretty tragic. But yeah, we can sort of like shove these guys out of the way and sort of move over. Excuse me.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's not good.
That's a problem.
No, we're fine. We're fine. Don't worry. It's
yeah. I wasn't worried
easy.
or anything.
I was
Yeah,
just
you're
testing
good.
you all. I was just testing you all. It's all good. Yeah, so we can drive in the compound. Nobody spawns just yet. Go ahead, run in. And what I'm doing is I'm just right-clicking and aiming to like trigger the markers a slight bit faster. Rico's doing some bunny hops. He's just, Pepe, excuse me, doing some bunny hops. So these guys don't really bother us. This mission is nice and easy. I have died to it before right at the end, but it's not too hard. And then...
The world famous.
Hello, sir. Don't run me over, please. Thank you. And then we run here, and this is the final cutscene. Get ready on time.
All right.
I hope you very much enjoyed. Thank you all for coming out. And yeah, rest in peace, all of the Haitians inside there. And that is... time.
GG.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice.
So, I won't take up too much more of your time. You know, we've got a schedule to go to. All I will say is that if you do enjoy GTA speedruns, you're welcome to check out my stuff, Hoxie's stuff, MH's stuff. We're all great people. We all love to play these games fast. But especially if you're interested in learning this game, we have lots of tutorials. I say we because it's not just me, even though I do get a lot of credit.
Yeah, it's a community effort.
It's a community effort, exactly. So be sure to check out speedrun.com/GTA, and you can find all the guides that you need. Join the community Discord, and you're more than welcome. We'll all see you there. Yeah, any final words, MH, from yourself?
You did good.
Thanks.
Good marathon run.
Thank you very much. Hoxie, any final words?
Oh, it was fun. Like everything
Well,
went well.
I didn't do good, it was just fun.
that was kind of implied.
Last time on commentary for you, man. All right, yeah, we won't leave you too much longer. Enjoy the run. Paul, have you got any final words for us?
Well, I do have one final donation here. It is $5 from MegaKek saying, I'm Tommy Vercetti, and I approve this message.
Thank you very much.
But yeah, we are well on our way to 13,000. We're just under $200 left to hit that. So get your donations in. Coming up next, we have Hades. So we're going to do a quick intermission, and we'll be right back with that.